Check me out now. Return of the smooth operator. Shotty on repeat. I say sleep later. This another favor. Consider me your neighbor. Lost a lot of fam in pursuit of the paper. She gon' catch the vapors when we slide by. The way I speak my mind, it's like I peak my prime, but I ain't close. I cruise through the night air. Fantasy a dream. Real royal is a nightmare. Like Claire battling the brainless. Learn to live shameless. Talk about me alive, but claim that I'm nameless. You aimless. So I'ma style on them. They washed up. It's a rap. Throw the towel on them. Gaining miles on them. Otakus for the win. Tacos, it depend on the mood that I'm in. Like Finn when it's time for adventure. This some new blue. Get ready to enter my mind for a few. Come and take a ride with the crew. I'ma show you how to recoup days lost when you vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Yeah, about time to regroup. Fly, got my eyes on the view. Never hear lies, only truth. Realize why they vibe with the blue. 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 Vibe with the vibe with the sky. Wait, you know the rest. I'm blessed. I see you frontin' like you ain't impressed, but I still get requests. I'm playing Zelda on the GameCube. I quit spamming my music. Don't ever try forcing the links. That's a high rule. The wind waker, Mother Nature on my side too, controlling the elements. Go and check my avatar. I'm arrows ahead. Get the point moving forward. The battle scars accumulated over time are reminders of what I went through as a minor, but made me a grinder. The trees broke down for this loose leaf. If life's a game of death, I'm Bruce Lee. Ooh wee. Lose sleep on the regular, trying to get this word out. Then I crash Nebula. Wish I had a very odd parent, maybe two, but it's cool. Everybody pays dues. Now it's time to make moves. Granny didn't raise me to lose. Think I'm in the mood for a cruise. Wonder why? Come and vibe with the blue. Come 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 vibe with the. Check this out, y'all. I'm back spazzing like the elderly worth of my cousin Beverly. Never swear away from the truth. Just ask Heather, be weather, be tripping, starting to control like our destiny. Always give you the best of me until the death of me. My weaponry is a paintbrush. Hush, don't tell my secret. They get a hold of it. If you leak it, get it. As usual. It's cool. Got you covered though, look. But let me get back to that cool-ish, loose-ish. Why they still lying? They don't do this. Bad at board games, whole world clueless. Selling they soul for Roof Chris. Who's this honored fella? Need a sliced extra mozzarella. Crew fly, leg guy propellers. Humanity born like they don't trust fun. Why you dodge to tell her? You don't know, but my odds are better. Life's a gamble, depending on who holding the cards. You can start living at large or it's bon voyage. Charge it to the game. Me and you ain't the same. I'm thinking bigger pictures. Why you still shrinking the frame? Ever blink in the rain? It helps when your eyes dry. Mob with the bright minds. Think you funny, wise guy? Midnight Marauder with a new tribe. Tired of the fake. Come and vibe with the blue sky. Come vibe with the blue sky. I'm proud of you, try. We get them high. Take them high. What I do, come vibe with the blue. Yeah. Come vibe with the blue. That's what up. Vibe with the. Wise grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple eyes. You can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Dream on, yeah. Dream on, dream weaver. Dream weaver.
this fool. Like, you know, you gotta do like.
Fuck all that. Throw your Hadoukens up for Atlantis one time. Throw your Hadoukens up, ladies and gentlemen.
But no, in all seriousness, what to say? Shout outs, big ups, big energy. To Kevin Conroy, dude was a real one. We lost him over these past. I think it was this just not yesterday. I think he passed the night before, actually.
Yeah.
Or during the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, that is some sad shit to wake up to. It was literally what I woke up to this morning. Not this morning, but the previous morning, I literally woke up to, yeah, man, Kevin Conroy gone. And it was just like, oh man, I was like, god damn. Hell, even my wife said something to me about it. She's like, do you know Kevin Conroy passed? I was like, god damn. My wife don't even keep up with motherfuckers' names like that.
Dude, that was literally the first thing I saw yesterday morning. Because I saw Batman was trending, so I'm like, okay, maybe maybe it's more of these Snyder people, whatever. But then I tapped it and saw Kevin Conroy and just got mad.
Yeah.
Like that is Batman. You can have Michael Keaton, you can have your Christian Bale, your George Clooney, your Val Kilmer, your Winston Duke, if you listen to the audio stuff. Robert Pattinson, but Kevin Conroy for a lot of people was the definitive Batman.
Yeah. No, 100%. Which just makes it makes that whole thing even crazier. But yeah, to be real, let's be real here. Kevin Conroy used to be a guy who was more synonymous with soap operas, because that's what he used to do, like back in the day. I didn't know that. No, I didn't know it either. I knew it like early on. Like I learned once I got more interested in learning about the people who did the voices of the things that I watched. So even when I was like I think by the time I was in by the time Batman Mask of the Phantasm came out, that's how I found out, because it was something he brought up during HBO was doing these behind the scenes, they would do like the inside so-and-so specials on like HBO for movies that were about to come out. They did one for Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Okay. And that's how I learned that. I was like, damn, you used to do like soap operas and shit? Damn, bro. So I forget which one he was even on. I'm trying to remember. Oh, let me see here. I mean, I actually kind of want to look it up, because I have to know now. Because it was never anything I ever committed to memory. But yeah, dude used to do a lot of that shit. And, but no, Batman was the one that was like, there you go. That's, dude, he was on Spencer for Hire. Lord! That man was Spencer! Damn, he was on an episode of Matlock. Lord! Dude, he was on Cheers. 2 episodes on Cheers. And he was on Murphy Brown. Get the fuck out of here. But no, all that was just to say, though, the guy had been around for a long time. Long time. And honestly, I think for a lot of people, I think he's a lot of people's Batman. Yeah. I know he's my Batman. I know everybody likes always pick the movie versions of Batman, but get the fuck out of here with that shit. That was my Batman. The dude was, even...
It's bittersweet. because we didn't get him in the suit. But at the same time, I'm still happy that he was able to, at least in some capacity,
we
do
almost
a
got
live action. We got him on when the CW stuff.
Well, yeah,
So
when they did the
take that.
crossover. Yeah, when they did the crossover.
So I'll take that. We didn't get him in the suit, but we still got Kevin Conroy's Batman.
We got him on live action. We got him one time, just one time. But also we got the video games too. We got him in the video games.
Especially he's gonna live on forever in the Arkham games. Oh man.
Like, you know what I thought about the other day? You know how recently everybody was up in arms because James Earl Jones sold the rights to his voice.
I'd seen something about that, but didn't really look too much into it.
Well, yeah, because it's a tech company that came up with like a way to make James Earl Jones to recreate his voice, saying things that he's never said before, because that's how they used it in Obi-Wan. So like you actually heard James Earl Jones' voice, but it wasn't actually him. It was a computer doing that. That was like just recreating his voice and making it on top of that dialogue. Like someone else, I think, actually said things, but like it was weird how they did that. But I was like, man, they should have done that for Kevin Conroy, man, because that dude could be Batman forever. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned.
I saw what you did there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Cut it out. Cut it out. You tried that shit last week. Cut it out.
No. Hey. What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Well, you know what? I guess the saying is always true.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
And today I am motherfuckers. Today I am motherfuckers. But no, yeah, so once again, I don't really know any way to say this, but yeah, big ups, sending good energy. Kevin Conroy, man, just that dude is like, honestly, right now, that dude is Batman up in the great heavens somewhere, and is just probably mad he can't catch no criminals up there. is probably what's actually happening up there. But that said, man, let's go back. So man, let's go back because we got super chats. We got super chats up in this biatch. So we got one from the homie, Brent Fox. With the $2 super chat. And why is this not working? Okay, there it is. It just was being weird. Anyway, oh wait, is it not? There you go. All right, cool. Finally, So you know what? Maybe this display thing is on CP time. Jesus. Because I clicked that like a half minute ago. Anyway, the Brent Fox says salute Ernie, Carter, and Chad. Hey, man, salute to you back, pimp. And let's see here. We also got one from Fancy Boy 82. Oh man, this is with the pounds. Hold on, pimp. This is with the pounds. Let me turn this back on so I can actually see those. Oop, yep. There's a whole bunch I'm probably just gonna show up right now because I just made it where I turned it off. So full disclosure, I turned this off, this little display thing, when we were doing the review the other day.
Okay.
And I just turned it back on for the first time, and it is just unloading right now. It's like, no. Here's everything you missed. It's here. But no, we got one from Fancy Boy. Says, evening, looking forward to another great show. Hey, we appreciate you. We hope that you enjoy. We about to go all in on this. We got another one here from the homie Romy Forever. It says, long live Blerd Koa and Wakanda Forever. Sorry, I can't ever not do that. They would kick me out of Wakanda. They'd be like, you can't do that every time you see somebody. Look, 'cause I would just be walking down the street, be like, remember, like, okay, this is going to come off as incredibly racist, but it's because it actually was. Remember in some old movies where the stereotype was well, no, it's because I'm not saying I'm incredibly racist. I'm saying that the thing that I watched was incredibly racist. There was I don't expect anybody to know what this movie is. There's an old Don Knotts movie called Private Eyes. Had it was Tim Conway and Don Knotts. They basically were supposed to be like Sherlock Holmes, or whatever. But like they went to his place anyway. Long story short, there was a Japanese guy, and every time he bowed, they bowed, and it just kept this thing going of bowing and bowing and bowing, just back and forth. Because every time Japanese people meet each other, they got to bow. That was the joke. Which was racist as fuck. But that's how I would be in Wakanda. I would just be like, every time I see somebody, like, and people would just be sick of me. But anyway, also Running Forever with another $5 super chat says, rest in power, Kevin Conroy. Man, look, that man is no. Rest in justice. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna rest in justice. We also got Levesta the Samurai with the $5 super chat says, afternoon, gentlemen, spending time with the family. I have to catch the show tomorrow. Wakanda Forever!
And that's why we're on Spotify now, so you can do
Spotify.
that. Ain't got to waste the YouTube data or run your battery down or have your phone in your pocket or in your hand hot because you've been watching a long ass podcast on YouTube. That's why we're on Spotify.
Look, motherfucker, wife gonna be like, why did it say we out of data? Oh shit. We also got one from Jarrell Anderson says, I got a crush on Namor. Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie, when that motherfucker came out that water and he started doing that little, I was like, man, no, they didn't just have this fool come out the water and slick like he on the Calvin Klein commercial.
Jesus Christ.
Right there,
let me say
25 babies was born. 25 babies was born in the theater right there.
Okay, people. Real quick, because Ernie just said his name and I just saw the comment.
Mm-hmm.
If you say his name a certain way, then that's just how you say it. That's not how everybody else is going to say that man's name. Or let me not even say that man's name, because he ain't real. He fake.
Well, I also want to point out something, because I actually said this the other day to somebody. I was because someone got mad at how I pronounced it on TikTok, and I was like, "Well, if you hate the way I say it, you're really gonna hate the way he says it."
Well, because I told him, I'm like, dude, I say that shit wrong on purpose. Anytime we do a Blerd Cave to annoy motherfuckers like you, because somebody came in the comments of the spoiler-free review and was like, "Man, y'all, I could tell y'all, just the way y'all saying his name. Nigga, shut up."
Look, here's the thing though. Here's the thing though. So I say his name the way I say it. I actually say it a bunch of different ways. Yeah. Most people just don't catch it. I say Namor sometimes, but Namor sounds kind of dumb to me. I'm not gonna lie. It's the same way, and I know a lot of people can get mad at this because they got mad about this when I did that video for Static. There's a character named Ebon. I think that name sounds fucking dumb. Because his name is spelled Ebon.
Okay.
Which, under normal circumstances, is Eben. Which, to me, sounds infinite.
Now you're being nasty.
Nobody
says Eben, motherfucker. Nobody says that. That made my
that
skin
is
crawl.
Well, because Eben. That, like, you've heard Eben before. It's honestly a more proper way to say it. But because black folks got to be, we got to be us. We got to be different. Because you know what his name is. You know what his name is a play on, right? You know his name's a play on, right?
Yes, I do.
Ebonics, which I think is just a dumbass word in the first place.
No, but you reminded me of this woman. I don't ever think I sent you the name. I was clearing up data. Speaking of, or I was clearing up space on my phone because of all the videos I recorded at the Tech Nine show last night. So in the process of me clearing it out, just the fact that you just said, like, black folks, we got to be special with certain names. There is sure as shit a name of when I was working. I took a picture of it to send to you, even though that is a big ass HIPAA violation. But this sister's name was Parfait. I think it was Parfait Fantastica.
No, you sent me another one too. What was it? Malcolm X and them go hard.
And he is not bullshitting. This was somebody who had gotten arrested here. His name was his entire first name was Malcolm X.
Mm-hmm.
His middle initial was the letter N, and his last name was Nimhard. I can't spell it. I'm really finna go to jail. But his name was Malcolm X and Nimhard. That was his
that's what it was.
Name. But it was just because you said that. It just reminded me there is a woman out here who named her baby Parfait.
First off, you need your ass whooped just for doing that alone. But no, my thing too is everybody in the movie says his name differently. Those that do say it. But I've noticed it's kind of like one of those things. You remember on the CW, whenever someone would say Ra's al Ghul's name, everybody said it different. There were some characters who said Ra's al Ghul, and then there was other characters who said Raish. And in this movie, they do the same thing, where a lot of the Wakandans call him Namor, but everyone else calls him Namor. So, and even he himself, when he says his own name, he says Namor. So technically, all our asses is wrong. So there you go. You can have that. But anyway, moving along, we got one from RoyBot06 with $20. Says, celebrating new job, son survived the flu. And although we can't watch Wakanda Forever, we got to watch Black Adam. Thanks for getting a dude through the hard times. Hey, we appreciate you.
Hey, man, that's why we are here. Even though technically Adam wasn't black, he was Samoan. So you need to go watch Wakanda Forever if you want to see something that's actually black. Congratulations on the job. I'm happy.
He's half black.
That little man survived the flu.
Yes. Because the flu is for real out here right now, dude. Flu ain't the flu no more. The flu is something else. We got one from the homie Dominic Coles with $5 super chat. Says, can we agree Nakia working with a bakery? God damn.
Sent a because you all are finna hate me like hard body, but I've always thought she was kind of mid. I've always thought Lupita was kind of mid.
Why?
But I don't know. You know what it is?
What movies did you see with Lupita Nyong'o?
Well, not mid, because I don't want people to think that I mean ugly. I must just stop using that word. But I think she was okay.
Yeah, mid is a. I'm not gonna. Can I just say this real quick?
That's I
think mid is a dumbass word because people use the word mid when they don't know how to explain how they feel about something. That's what I associate mid with.
It's because you don't have friends like this, which is great for you. But I'll always have those friends who will send me pictures of insert random female celebrity here. Damn, she looked good. This person looked good. This person looked good. This person looked good. And every time they would send me one of Lupita, I'm like, oh yeah, she's fine. She's fine. And they just look at me like I'm crazy, but I don't know what it was.
That's a dark skinned sister right there.
Them long braids in her head and the drip.
Well, I tell you what, for me, it's not even so much the looks, it's attitude. Like, I think Lupita Nyong'o is a beautiful woman. And that's just not even counting how actual beautiful she is. It's her. She also has a personality. Like, I don't know if you ever watch, like, interviews or anything like that, or, like, when she's, like, behind the scenes, stuff like that. That woman is hilarious. That woman is fucking hilarious. Like, I'm shocked she didn't get into comedy. But she's awesome. She has a really cool, like, remember how earlier we were talking about Riri? How Riri acts? Lupita act like that.
I don't know why, but that just kind of bumped her up quite a few spots on my list. Like if you now Lupita like a hood African, bruh.
No, if you ever like if you ever watch like any of the behind the scenes stuff or wherever she does interviews, she's actually she pretty out there.
See, all that's gonna happen. I see all that's gonna happen. That's all I'm saying.
Look, hey, I'm just saying. Look, I'm just saying. Hey, look, it is what it. Hey, look here. Let me.
But yes, I have seen the error of my ways when it comes to Lupita because I don't know what it was in this movie, but that is a fine black woman. Oh Lord,
this man. Well, I mean, look, let's carry on because we still got more here. We got another one here from the homie Gabriel Knight with the 1999 super chat. Says doing some work for a few hours so I can watch Israel Adesanya at UFC 281 later tonight. Ooh man, I forgot UFC was tonight.
I gotta see who he fighting tonight.
I'm gonna look that up real quick because I'm also curious. My God, do you always forget how many UFCs he's fighting Alex Pereira. So that's gonna be that might be a little bit of a throwdown. Might be a little bit of a throwdown because I think Alex is 6-1 and our boy Israel is 23-1 and
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think that's gonna be a throwdown. I feel like that might be. It might be.
They might be playing
fun.
touchies. They might be playing touchies.
No, Israel gonna try. No, Israel Adesanya gonna try to kill that boy.
Oh yeah, no, he gonna try and kill him. But I'm just saying, you know how sometimes you get two like badass fighters, and sometimes they don't do shit because on the slick they might be scared of each other. Like, nah, I didn't see what that motherfucker did. He knocked the motherfucker out cold. I don't want to be on one of them Chiseled Adonis videos. Hearing the Undertaker gone. What was that one dude Chiseled Adonis made fun of? The UFC fighter that kept like showboating and was beating everybody.
Oh, you talking about
And-
Michael Venom Page?
Yeah, but then like he started getting stunted on. And you hear that gong. The motherfuckers get knocked the fuck out. Anyway,
it's funny you say that. If Israel comes out as Undertaker again, oh my goodness!
Oh,
Because you know he
yeah.
can't. I don't think it
that was his
last
thing.
fight, but he did come out with the hat and everything, with the urn and all. Something. But I know Alex Pereira. I think Alex Pereira beat him, not in UFC, but somewhere else. But I just don't. I don't see that happening again. If I'm right, I think you all in the chat might correct me
Carter,
if I'm wrong. But I think
if he hit that motherfucker and the gong go off, I'ma holler. If he hit that, look, I'm Carter. I'm not playing.
You know what? We getting off on tangents again. We getting off.
Yeah,
I see
listen.
people talking
Anyway.
about Angela Bassett in the chat right now, and you are absolutely right. Me and I almost call him Johnny Cochran. What is her husband's name? I forgot his name right now. Oh my god.
Shit, I'm not even really thinking about that.
Oh my
motherfucker
god,
today.
I forgot. What is his name? He was on the tip of my tongue right
Courtney B.
Courtney
Vance.
B. Vance. Yeah, we would have to have a talk because.
Could you imagine what their arguments are like?
I don't think they have arguments. I think Courtney B. Vance just looks at her and just like, yeah, bruh. Yeah. No pull-out game tonight. Like, no. But I think Courtney B. Vance and I have to have a conversation because just looking at Angela Bassett in this movie, I think that's too much woman for you. I'm going to be honest.
Damn, that man said too much woman.
Come on over to my place. That's all I'm saying.
Look,
that's all I'm saying.
this motherfucker right
Okay,
here.
now we can stop.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, back to
Now
it. King Absolute. Man, what's going on, pimp? With the $4.99 says, I say Eben like Ebony as in the category in the hub. I got
Yeah,
to
we
go.
really need to get
like
back
in the
on point
category
right
of
now.
the hub. I
really
ain't
need
mad,
to get-
dude. I ain't mad at this fool. Anyway, I mean, hey, Eben, that makes sense to me. I'm just saying. Besides, you got Ebony and Ivory. Ebony, if you take the Y off, what does it say, Carter? What does it say?
I'm still just disgusted that he just lets us know his Pornhub preferences.
You know, okay, so funny thing.
Don't tell me yours.
No, I was gonna say, did you
Okay.
know? Did you know there's two different distinctions for black porn in the porn industry?
I did not and never thought to actually research and or know this.
No, I didn't research. It's just something I noticed, just casually. But no, so education time.
Oh, God.
So okay, so here's the deal. And I want to apologize to anyone who may or may not be offended by what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. So danger. Hit the danger button right off rip. Here's the deal. They have black porn, and then there's ebony porn. Black porn is the same thing as ebony porn. The only difference is that white people, when they see ebony, it sounds more special. So they click on that instead. Not joking. I'm not joking. But anyway, Chi-Town, we got a membership here. Jonathan Moda with 23 months in the diamond mine. God damn. Says, hello everyone. Namor was a standout in the film, but I am shocked at the film, at how the film turned out, as well as it did, considering all the complications that impacted the original narrative. And here's the thing. So, okay, and remember last week, Carter, when you said that you thought and I'm kind of not being specific right now because we'll get into it here in just a minute, but you said there was a specific character that was going to die, and I said that I wasn't surprised because Ryan Coogler said even before Chadwick Boseman passed, the movie was going to be about grief.
Mm-hmm.
The movie was already going to be about grief. So the things that happened, they were things that were already going to happen, period. They just had everything with Chadwick just kind of happened to happen. So we would have seen this from like multiple perspectives had things not gone the way they had gone. Which are unfortunate, but yeah, dude, it's craziness. The movie's doing and the movie's just great overall, but yeah. Chi-Town Dan, the Night Skin King with the $2 super chat says, but how does Sue Storm say his name? Oh, she can't, because let me keep my mouth shut. let me shut the fuck up. Let me hit the button on my phone. I almost said what she was gonna be doing while she couldn't say the name.
Somebody in the comments of the spoiler-free review said the same thing, and they said she called him a Kut Khan.
That's what there you go. Anyway, carry on.
I don't like how close that was to how Winston Duke said it. So that's
hey,
with the little high pitch at the end. Shut up. But somebody said the same thing that you said, that I was like 100% on the money about a certain thing about a certain prediction, and they hated me for being right. And someone else in the chat right now just said the same thing. Carter called the fuck out of that. But yeah, I didn't like that I did, because I said it in the theater. We'll talk about it later, but as soon as it happened. But one thing I do want to talk about before we get into these spoilers, for all you people that have seen it and all you people that are going to see it, you ain't a real moviegoer. If you didn't get your Wakanda Forever popcorn tin, you ain't a real one.
The ones we had look better.
Well, this was the cheapest. I know the other ones y'all talking about.
Yeah, we had that big ass like the one we had at the Paradiso. Like it was like a legit popcorn tin. It wasn't like angular.
I wanted this one because I will never pay for a large thing of popcorn at a movie theater. I'm not gonna eat, but this was the medium. And they only had a very small amount of kettle corn left, because that's the only popcorn I like nowadays. So yeah, y'all got to get y'all Black Panther tin, man. Did y'all have a cup at yours?
Yeah, we had cups. We had the cups, and we also had the popcorn things. And they had like some little toppers on the cups too, if you were into that sort of thing.
Yeah, we had purple ones, but those motherfuckers sold out. I got the first. Well, I had to change my showing so that I could get that. So I ended up going an hour later, and in that hour, they had sold out of every cup and every Black Panther beanie baby they had in that motherfucker. I was lucky to get that damn tin.
Damn. Oh, but that whole thing. Let's see here.
Before I forget, shout out to the woman that was sitting next to me when I was watching Wakanda Forever, because shout out to her, because she in her purse had seasoned salt for popcorn in her purse that she brought to the movie.
Anyway, look, this fool. Anyway, Ramonda in the UN meeting was scary. She was like, "You think you're gonna catch us slipping? Guess again, partner."
That was funny.
I thought it was hilarious, because the whole time that she was talking, I was
not expecting it to go that route.
Oh no, I like when they kept flipping back and forth. I was like, "Oh yeah, no, you can't slick Michaela Cole bald-headed ass past me. you can't sneak Michaela Cole past me." Then what was it? Got Cloudy D with the 23 months says, would you want to see White Tiger in the future? Sure. Depending on which version of White Tiger. If we're
I said you just want to see White Tiger because she was a good card on Marvel Snap. That'll win you around real quick.
Well, no, I actually like the character of White Tiger from the comics, but she's a good card, but she's very situational. See, this is how you know I play a lot.
But yeah, you're right. It really depends on which White Tiger. Yeah. If it's the one that's getting piped out by the Slaw Power Man, no, you can keep them.
Nah, that's the one I want. I want Ava Ayala. I want Ava Ayala in there. I don't want the original. The dude that came before, I wasn't crazy about him. I don't know. He was alright. I just
don't like that Slaw Power Man we got now.
I mean, I don't even mind him. I just think he's kind of a hothead, but I mean, he's also like young. So I mean, is what it is. I mean, let's be real. Most superheroes when they're young do stupid shit. But okay, let's let's move on. I'm also going to kind of double check here. I want to make sure we didn't miss anything because I know for a fact we probably did. So just for my own edification, I'm going back, making sure that nothing was missed. Okay. Actually, we did miss one. We missed... let's see. Yep, missed a couple, actually. Missed a couple. There were some that kind of slipped through the cracks.
Okay, I'm actually...
let's see here. Yeah, because I got one from Dominic Coles here with the $5 says, starting off the chat with Nakia, had a bakery back there. Yes, she did. And we got another one here. Let's see here. Oh, Go Conshuri Baby's father with the $5 says my Uber driver was testing me, bro.
What are you trying to say there?
Says made to when T'Challa was led to rest, he ain't getting no tip.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what he was trying to say the Uber driver said, because there was something I was going to send you, but I recorded the video too long. But my Uber driver was on some real, you're going to the, he seemed like he was an Indian guy. But he asked me, was I going to the go see Wakanda Forever? And then it devolved into him saying the MCU.
Oh, Lord.
And then he kept calling him Chadwick Baldwin. And then he kept talking about how he hates that all these movies are making black women stronger than black men.
How?
And then he says that it's not just the movies, it's America as a whole is making black women stronger than black men. I don't think...
look, did you do a elbow check on him? Do you do an elbow ankle check on him? Because I bet them ankles and elbows
I was trying to record it. I was trying to record it because I was going to post it in the Discord so you all could see what the fuck I was listening to in my Uber ride. But he does not think that Chadwick Baldwin would approve of how they're doing the movie right. Every time that motherfucker said Chadwick Baldwin, oh my God, if I knew I wasn't going to die in that car crash, I would have hit him. Like, just off Chadwick Baldwin. Chadwick Baldwin.
Anyway, moving on. Let's just get into our discussion because we are over 30 minutes in and we have not really talked about shit. Anyway, let's talk about this movie. Carter, we already gave the review, so we're not doing any like full-on review stuff. We're just talking about the movie. So straight up. Off rip. We already kind of talked about Ramonda a bit here, so I guess let's start with that. Ramonda, and I guess to talk about Ramonda, and I kind of want to, I almost kind of slick want to rescind something that I said in the spoiler-free review. But no, it ain't what you think it is. It ain't what you think.
No. I was reading Super Chat.
Ah, got you. Let's basically just look at it like this. So during the review, I said there were two characters that I felt could have been left out, despite the fact that I knew what they were trying to set up. And actually, over the time since I said that, I want to kind of amend that statement. I still think they could have been left out, but I feel like if they would have done this a certain way, I think it would have made more sense. Because, so basically, what I'm talking about here, for those who are unfamiliar, the character that is played by Julie Louis-Dreyfus.
Elaine?
Yeah, sure, her.
Colonizers?
So, basically, my thing with this was that I kind of wished that they would have gone a different direction. Because, she's in this movie. But I wish they would have went a different direction with her in this movie, if that makes any sense. And maybe for some people, maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I felt like what they should have done, is I think she should have had more screen time. Instead of having screen time with Ross as much as she did, I think it would have worked better if they would have had her actually speak to Ramonda at some point. Because there is... Well, okay, so the reason why I say this is because they're angling for something. The thing that kind of comes out of this movie, and this is kind of the most I'll talk about this, and then we'll just kind of move on to other shit. What they are setting up for the future of the MCU, and I know a lot of people are going to kind of groan when I say this, but what they're setting up is another kind of civil war, is basically what they're going for here. There's multiple points where it's made fairly obvious, even before she actually says it out loud, that she has been spying on Ross as well as the communications that he has had with Wakanda. So basically what they're doing is they're kind of angling, because she even kind of says that like she is going after Wakanda. Her angle is to catch Wakanda slipping. And the whole deal being that she's trying to build up this team, and that's kind of where I think the Thunderbolts are going to wind up coming into play. I don't know if Wakanda will be like the chief focus of what it is they're trying to do in the Thunderbolts, but it seems like that's kind of the direction it could potentially go. I feel like all of that and her being in the movie would have made way more sense if they would have had her talk to Ramonda or talk to anyone else from Wakanda, like in the setup to that, if that makes any sense.
Here's something I want to ask you, because it was something I noticed in mine, and I was actually extremely fucking surprised.
What's up?
Did anyone know who she was when you were in your theater?
Yeah.
My theater was, for the most part, relatively full.
Mm-hmm.
No one knew who the fuck she was, except me and like 2 or 3 other people. Literally, most of my theater was like, "Who the fuck is that?" Which,
well, I mean, let's be real. Let's be real, Carter. I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound real hurtful, but it's the truth.
What do you mean?
What was the makeup of your theater?
Well, we all dark. I was gonna say, I mean, we all dark when the lights go off.
Oh, okay. All right. That tells me everything I need to know. Anyway. The reason why I say that is because a lot of people honestly went to go see the movie just because it was Black Panther. There's a lot of MCU normies out there, people who don't watch everything.
That's what the Uber driver called himself. I've never heard of that before.
I say it all the time, Carter. I say it all the time in front of you. You never remember. But no, that's why, like, when you always keep going on about how, oh, well, no, I'm talking for the everyman. No, I'm talking for the everyman because I take that shit into consideration every time we do one of these. I recognize that there's lots of people who don't watch everything. Mm-hmm. And that's what probably happened with your theaters, that a lot of people in there don't watch. They probably didn't watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier or Black Widow or... I think that's the only 2 things she showed up in up to this point. But the thing is, not everybody watches all that. So, and a lot of times, especially in the case of Black Widow, a lot of people don't stay through post credits. I know there's a lot of people walking out before the credits are over a lot of the times, and they just don't catch certain shit. But that said, the reaction to my theater was completely different. When she showed up, everybody's like, "Oh shit." Because everybody knew who she was. Mm-hmm. But that's the difference. That's what I'm saying. Like, you probably were in a theater with a bunch of folks that literally they only show up to see certain shit, or they only showed up because it was Black Panther. There's a lot of people I know who love Black Panther but don't watch really any of the other MCU movies. They just it's kind of like the Issa Rae thing. They just rooting for everybody black, so they just show up. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't take their opinions into much high regard. Because it would be different if it was somebody that watched everything and didn't know who the fuck she was. That would actually be scary to me. But, because then I'd be like, you might want to go to the doctor and get yourself checked. Or someone who says they watch everything, but they don't watch as much as they think. But yeah, if they would have done a deal where they would have actually had her interact more with Angela Bassett, I think that would... Like, honestly, that whole scene they did at the very opening of the movie where they're in the UN, like, okay, don't get me wrong. I appreciate that Odin was in the building, but I really think it would have been better if, like, okay, remember, okay, so that whole scene with the French lady, when Ramonda stunned it on the French lady in front of Queen and Country, that scene would have worked so much better if it was Contessa that she did it to. That would have made it better. Like, and I'm not trying to say that, it was a mistake that they didn't. I'm just saying that if it was me, if I was in the director's chair, I would have made it her that would have caught Contessa's thunderbolts trying to bust up in there. Or like some low rent motherfuckers. Like, could you imagine how funny it would have been, especially after that ass whooping the U.S. agent took in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, if the Falcon and Winter Soldier Part 2 came in there and U.S. agent got his ass towed up one more again by some Dora Milaje. I'd have hollered. I would have hollered.
That would have dropped her rank. Just because they're building her up in these shows to be this real big problem, and then we see her in Wakanda Forever, and they just get dealt with. Her stock would fucking plummet immediately.
Well, I mean, but the thing is, I don't think it was so much plummet. I just think it would have been funny. Because, I mean, let's be real. Dora Milaje versus... We've already seen that fight, so we know how it's going to go. We've already seen them fuck up.
Shout out to R. Kelly for calling Valentina the unseasoned Amanda Waller.
Look. That's the Amanda Waller we got at home.
Oh man. That's unseasoned Amanda Waller. Goodness.
I mean, you ain't wrong. Anyway, but no, my thing is, but getting away from that, all that was great. But the thing that once again, I want to get to Namor because. Okay. That was, and the more I think about it, like, yeah, just as was promised, he was a standout. The fact that they actually leaned into a lot of the, I guess, like, more of the comic book aspects of him, like the whole deal where, they put credence on the fact that his wings aren't necessarily how he flies, but it's what gives him balance and how he steers, because every time he would make turns, they always made sure to show you where that came from. Like, yeah, it technically helps him fly, but, like, it's one of those deals where, like, he wouldn't be able to get very far if he didn't have it. Which is why that chicken wing came off.
Didn't get far.
Look,
you didn't get far, that motherfucker got snatched.
Look, Shuri ripped that shit off like it was a Don Don's wing. You from Memphis, you know what that is. But no, I liked how he was portrayed in this. Like he came off as like a very regal character. He was compassionate. I won't say compassionate. He was just very passionate about what he believed in. But I really liked how Tenoch Huerta played this character, and they were even kind of setting up that little thing, like since we didn't have the Fantastic Four. You could already see that he was kind of getting sweet. He was getting sweet on that dark meat. He was getting sweet on Shuri.
I'm happy you said that. Because I think this is one of the moments where, in my opinion, he was kind of like the Namor from the comics, just because he was sweet on her until he had that conversation with Rwanda, and was just like, yeah, like
you just call her Rwanda. You just call her Rwanda? She ain't no hotel.
No,
I'm fucking with you.
I really have to stop reading chat when I'm saying something, because I was reading Paris Yule talk about you got your Imperious Rex, so I was trying to say anyway.
Yeah, we did. You did get your Imperious Rex. You did in fact.
No, they cheated.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
They said it interloking. That don't count.
But hey, what did I say was gonna happen? I told you that was gonna happen. I told you he was going to say it in another language.
But my thing was, I think he basically had the conversation with her in the sense of, I would smash, but still kill that motherfucker if need be.
Oh yeah,
that scene I thought was really cool, because I thought they were going the route of making them more sweeten up to her, and maybe that's the route this would take, of where we're gonna really try to be different in the MCU. We're not gonna do Sue and Namor. We'll do Shuri and Namor. So I thought he was kind of sweetening up on her to where maybe he wouldn't go the route he would go, but that kind of snapped me into it where he was like, "No, I will still kill this bitch if need."
Oh yeah, no, look, you see how close he got up in Angela Bassett's face? Wasn't no way he'd be invited to Thanksgiving dinner in Wakanda. Ain't no way. He would be like, nah, you can take that motherfucker. Look, right here. She'd be like, you tell motherfucker he can bring a plate home. But he ain't allowed up in here.
One thing, you were right in a sense.
What's up?
We didn't get the X-Men.
No.
But he did call himself a mutant.
He called himself a mutant. Like, he openly... called himself a mutant. Yeah. So, for those that know what we're talking about, so basically, in this movie... Like, it's actually... This isn't really so much a spoiler, because Ryan Coogler even went as far as to say that in a lot of the press junkets and stuff that they did for this movie, that... that Namor is, in fact... a mutant. He is a mutant. He even refers to himself as such. He literally calls himself a mutant, which is honestly is good enough for me as far as I'm concerned. That was a good enough reference for me that I was like, okay, cool, that works for me. I am perfectly fine with that. I also appreciate how they actually kind of dug into the lore a little bit. You don't see this as much anymore these days, but when they revealed his weakness, like when they actually reveal like what makes him strong and how he can be defeated, when they started referencing the fact that, oh, well, he seems like he just gets really powerful when he's in water. And that's actually true. That's actually true about him in the comics, is that when he is in water or he has recently come out of water, he literally is probably one of the most strongest like people on Earth. Like the dude can lift ridiculous, like I think in the this wasn't in Chip Zdarsky's Invaders book, but this was in like the Jason Aaron Avengers. There was an issue where he literally lifted an entire like sea base by himself. That's just how strong, like he can lift ridiculous weight. Like the dude is on par with the Hulk if he's in water.
Was it Marvel or was it DC? Who took it? Because they're both at fucking Atlantis, but who took it and put it in a desert? Because that was the only other time I'd seen where they tried to.
That was Marvel. That was Marvel.
Okay.
No, okay. So here's the thing: you have to go back to the older comics. Yeah. If you go back to like the Defenders, or you go back to like the Invaders comics, or like the original like Namor or was it Prince Namor the Submariner, or the John Byrne Namor series, that's where you see that a lot. Where I think there was one where like someone put him in a like they encased him in a cinder block and had heat rays hitting him left and right. But yeah, Marvel, when they did that in Marvel, what you're talking about, that was Hyperion. That was during I think that was Squadron Supreme, when that happened, because I remember they did something along those lines. But yeah,
Geronimo Smith and Hideo are also saying it was okay. Thank you, y'all. Thank you. I think that's what I was thinking about. It was Superman and Injustice.
You think? Yeah, that's what you're thinking. Okay, yeah, you're thinking about that too. But yeah, they did it in Marvel as well. Okay. But yeah, you can. Yeah, if you dry him out, it's a wrap. But I really appreciated that they put that respect on the comics that came before. I thought that was really interesting. Dude, you know another thing that actually kind of threw me for a loop, and I never noticed it before until this movie? It's actually something that was in the first movie. This is actually something that was in the first fucking movie. And somehow, I never fucking realized it. I never noticed it. Never, I just didn't pay it any real, actual attention. But it's something that became clearly evident to me when I watched this movie. Is Trevor Noah Trevor Noah.
No. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Blerd official with the 1999 super chat, but it's just the fact that they found a way to do the Wakanda as an emoji. Bro.
Oh yeah, dude, that's been in there. That's been in there.
I've never thought to use that emoji as the Wakanda thing. Though.
Yeah. You never, dude. That was in there before Black Panther.
Oh no, I know it was, but that's what I'm saying. I never thought to use that emoji to signify that. That's hilarious. That's
also.
cute.
Oh yeah. No. And, also, thank you for that. 1999 super chat. I ain't letting one slip. Carter thought he was slick.
I'm trying to keep the chat up to where I can see the other super chats so they don't go away.
Oh no, I got him. I got him, Carter.
Oh, okay, you got him now. Okay, cool.
I've been had him.
I thought there were those times where they would vanish on your end.
Well, no, I can't go back and highlight them, but I can see them at all times. I was gonna say, you doing more work than you got to, Carter. Anyway,
cool.
We also got Hari's Ewing with the $49.99 says, "What up, bald-headed demons for all the recast T'Challa vultures? It was a lot of tears for Shuri when she was fighting the war. Best MCU of Phase 4. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
I said it. Well, no, I didn't post it on Twitter because I didn't want to spoil it because I wanted to wait for this, but I don't know why the recast T'Challa people should be happy. Y'all got what y'all wanted.
Yeah, they actually. I guess while we're here, I did want to spend a minute to just talk about how I'd never noticed that was Trevor Noah as the fucking AI in Black Panther 1 and was clear. Yeah, you didn't. Yeah, so okay, Trevor Noah is in both Black Panther movies, and I don't know how I never noticed this before. But here, let me pull it up. But yeah, Trevor Noah was Griot, the AI in the first movie. But the reason why I never noticed it because he doesn't say much in the first movie. This movie, he talks a lot, and I was like, shit, that is Trevor Noah. I was like, dude, I'd never caught that before. But no, getting to the other thing. Getting to the other thing is, so yeah, all the people that were talking about recast T'Challa. Oh, you got what you wanted. They recast T'Challa. Literally. They literally recast T'Challa. Good luck with that. Y'all can take the hashtag down. Y'all can take the hashtag down. And you know what? And remember, Carter? Remember what I said a long time ago? I said it wouldn't matter who they recast as T'Challa. People would still be mad.
Yeah.
They mad.
I'm just saying, man.
And matter of fact, dude, and you know what? I even said that last week. I said in some way, shape, form, or fashion, they're going to open a doorway for T'Challa to come back. And what happened?
Y'all got what y'all wanted, man. That's all
Y'all got it. Y'all got it. That's all I'm going to say on it. Honestly, because everybody's been asking me, man, what do you think about it? What do you think about it? I was like, I don't care. look, I'm gonna hit y'all with that,
you know what that shit reminded me of?
What?
You ever play those old Twisted Metal games, and then it was like, if you win the tournament, you get one wish. You wish whatever you want, and whatever they would wish for, it would always somehow backfire. But it was what they wished for. Mm-hmm. Hey, I wish to have all the money in the world, and then they would get all the money in the world, but they'd be buried under it. Mm-hmm. All your people, you recast T'Challa.
Got what you wanted.
Got what you want.
Actually, and you know what I've been doing ever since this. So you know how I did when I saw that shit.
Mm.
That was literally me the whole time. That was literally me the whole time when I saw that shit. I was looking around the room. I was like, y'all got what y'all wanted. But no, that said, I think that was fantastic. I think it's great. I think one of the homies off Twitter actually asked me this, and I'll answer it now because it seems appropriate. One of my homies off of Twitter, Michael Molina, asked me, do you think he'll be a part of the Young Avengers that Kevin Feige is setting up? Probably not. Probably not. But you know what? With everything happening, they age up characters fast sometimes, so you never know. Cause hell, that little girl from what was cause someone asked me that before about that little girl from Love and Thunder. And I was like, nah, probably not. But you know what? You never know, because they had a kid Loki that wasn't much older in the Loki series. And we already know, we already got Kate Bishop, we already got Patriot, we already got Wiccan and Speed, and they're that age. They're about roughly around that age. So I don't know, you never know. But I think Wiccan's about to get aged up. Because of what we saw from Agatha, Coven of Chaos, but that's neither here nor there. It could not even be Wiccan at all in that show. But carrying on along, we got one from Xylism with the $5 super chat. Says, send in what I can give to Ashley Baldhead for the Ashley Baldhead Foundation. Koei looked at that girl like, you better come get this child. Hey, that's what happened when you a bald-headed demon. Bruh, oh my god, I was hollering at that shit. I guess, you know what, speaking of, so another thing, I think I was kind of correct about this too, even though I said technically the suit would be destroyed. It actually was not, well, it probably will be destroyed, but, Shuri wouldn't let Riri take that suit back to the States. She was like, no. Look, I love how we went from them dapping it up, like this, to Shuri being like, I don't know, pimp. She's like, yeah, you can't take that suit back, right? You can't take that. You can't take all that vibranium back to the United States. That shit gonna be sitting on bricks before it's all said and done. But I will say, I liked what they did with the Wakandan armor. I had a feeling she would never keep it, or that something was gonna happen to it at some point. But at the end of it all, it kind of turned out the same. This is why when we see the Ironheart series is going to be coming up, she's not going to have this suit. She's going to have the she's going to have a suit that's probably closer to looking like Stark Tech than the one she had initially made in the movie. So I thought that was cool. Let's see, what else? There was something else. Carter, I want to ask you this. How did you feel about, because I saw people getting upset about this online, and for no reason. So, we knew that Florence Kasumba was going to be coming back as Ayo. And, of course, we had Michaela Cole, who was playing Anika. And now, for those who don't know, in the comics, Ayo and Anika are together. And I saw people online talking about how they were queer baiting. There was queer baiting in the movie. And I was like, what? I said, what? Because two female characters, were standing next to each other? Is that why y'all thought it was queer baiting? Because I saw that shit. I saw people say that with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I saw people say that the Falcon and the Winter Soldier was queer baiting because they kept trying to make it seem like Falcon and Bucky were going to be a thing. And I was like, nah, that is not how... y'all misread the tea leaves on that one. But okay. So apparently people said they were queer baiting with Ayo and Anika, apparently. Or I think, what was it? I think they said they were queer baiting with...
Talking about when she kissed her on the head or something, and she said...
Well, no. Actually, I don't think it was that. I think there was something else, because, Okoye and Anika have some interactions in the movie. I think maybe that's what they were talking about. Because if you get to the end of the movie, it's very obvious that Ayo and Anika are together. It's very obvious, because she calls her my love. She kisses her on the top of a bald head. It says, calls her my love. So, it's one of those situations where I kind of feel like, how is that queer baiting? They didn't, I don't know, maybe I'm the worst person to talk about that, but I kind of feel like they made it pretty obvious that they were...
I think it was in the Ta-Nehisi Coast run that there was... a lesbian couple in Dora Milaje, and then it started.
That was them. That was them. That was Ayo and Anika. Yeah.
That's why I didn't give a fuck. That's why I didn't give a fuck, because I remembered it from that book. So I didn't care about that.
Well, no, and the thing is, it's not that it's not that the people that are complaining have a problem with them being together. It's people complaining that they teased it but didn't show it. That's what queer baiting is. In case you didn't know.
I know what it is, but
you were talking as if like
it's because my attention again is on this chat, just because I really want to say something. But okay, real quick, Sully Walker, you didn't hit a button, bro. I'm not finna put some respect on you. Recast T'Challa motherfuckers, because I put y'all in the same category as the Snyder fans. You all you whine and you cry. You mad because we laughed at you because you got what you wanted with recast T'Challa. You just didn't get it the way you wanted to get it, and now you're trying to say that we getting butter biscuits and we cooning and this, that, and the third, and we got to be a shield. No, we're just laughing at people. That's what this whole thing is. You been disagreeing with us for the longest time, but he knows that he can come in here and enjoy himself, laugh, joke, whoever the fuck. You just in your feelings because you didn't get what you wanted. And to tell me to put respect on a fucking hashtag, suck my dick, please. Slow. Because I'm tired. So please, suck my dick. Please.
On that note, no, in all seriousness, let's keep it real here. My granny had a saying, and I actually used the same earlier in regards to something that someone said in a comment on a video. A hit dog will holler.
Yeah.
So
like Choppy 24/7 is saying right now. Stop bringing comics up if you don't respect the lore.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing though. That's why these are called, I'm going to say this very slowly.
Okay.
Adaptations.
Like, bruh.
Adaptations. If you want the comics, if you want to talk about respecting lore, go read the fucking comic. It's right there. It's literally right there. If I wanted the exact same story or whatever as the comic, I would just read the fucking comic because it's right there. Matter of fact, here.
People can't have fun anymore, dude. We were just taking the piss out of the whole recast T'Challa thing, and y'all in y'all goddamn feelings. Bruh, this whole thing is supposed to be fun and funny, and y'all crying, which is just gonna make us just go in on y'all worse. Like, bruh, you disagree with something, respectfully disagree. You ain't got to cry about it.
Here's the thing. If I want the comic, I got it right here, pimp. The whole Ta-Nehisi Coates run, I got it right here. If I want to read that motherfucker, I can read it anytime I choose.
But that's why I like hitting you. That's why I like hitting you, No She in our chat. To be honest, I don't really care if they recast. I wanted them to, but I knew they weren't. You see what he
Not
did?
right now. No.
He wanted to, but my thing was he wants T'Challa recast. He's been saying that for the longest. But he don't really give a fuck. He kept it moving. No skin off his back.
Yeah.
A lot of y'all can't do what he did. Like,
look, because you know what it is?
Like, come on, bro.
Look, in the words of Ben Affleck in Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, fictional characters. Fictional characters. That's what they are, okay? They're fictional characters. It's okay. There's no need to have hurt feelings over fictional characters. And honestly,
dude.
There's
I
no
have
need.
said that so many times. Stop getting your feelings hurt over some ideas that's in somebody's head that's then put to paper. These aren't real people.
Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
What are we doing right now? What are we doing?
I'm going to tell you right now. This is what happens every time I see y'all crying over fictional characters.
Nigga, please.
That's me every time. That's me every time I see this shit. I'm just like...
And Ernie goes in on you all way more than I do. I try to be respectful of everybody, hear everybody's case.
Well, it's because they're not respectful to me. Like, it's like... If you,
and I understand that.
Well, because here's my thing. Here's my thing. I'm going to teach y'all something about myself. Here's how Blerd Without Fear operates. I don't fight fire with fire. I fight fire with gasoline. I'm like, all right, cool. You want fire? Let's have some fire. I'm gonna throw gasoline on you, and we're just gonna blow this whole thing up. We gonna there's a reason why I've always believed in the saying, may the bridges I burn light the way.
My thing is, Ernie goes in on you
I match
all
energy.
way more than me, dog. Like,
I match energy.
I try to hear both sides. That's what I like to do. I like hearing both sides. It's when you just come in here and you cry.
But if one side is really stupid, do I have to hear it?
And that's my whole thing. It's when you say stupid shit like the Solid Walker did. Like Hitty, been talking about it for the longest time, and he kept it moving. Some of y'all just come in here. Oh my god.
Look, I'm like Sam Jackson. I mean, I respect your opinion, but considering it's a stupid fucking opinion, I'm gonna choose to ignore it. So there you go. It is what it is. Anyway, Paris Yule with the $10. Just saying. Love to hear you guys. Love the film. I'm curious on what your take is on Tseng being a reference to Tosin, not Kaname from the books, and if we can expect a similar arc for this character. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I think this is going to be something incredibly different. I think this is going to be something on a whole other level. It's not going to be the same thing. There might be some hints and some nods, but I think this is going to honestly kind of go its own way. If that makes any sense. I feel like this was kind of a way to set it up so that they can have the character back later and maybe even have him be very similar in a lot of ways. But maybe also kind of be a more paranoid version of the character, that because T'Challa in the comics is incredibly paranoid. He's almost ridiculously paranoid. He's actually, I would say he's just as paranoid. He's like Batman levels of paranoid. But yeah, but I don't know. I think they're just gonna go their own direction with it. But Carlos with 499 says the French trying to steal vibranium worked better because of the Haiti connection. These colonizers were the real villains all along. I mean, yeah, I guess it does. I guess so, but I just feel like if you're gonna have Contessa there, why not have her? You know, because I mean, even Nakia being there, that really didn't have shit to do with shit. She wasn't working. She wasn't like on mission. She was just chilling down there. But I mean, yeah, I get why people like that part of it, but I just think it could have been done better. Dominic Coles with the $5 says this series needs to end with colonizers in chains. Hey, look, we got to see one. We got to see one in chains. I thought it was cool.
That was a funny, that was a funny little line, by the way. Colonizer in chain. Now I have seen everything.
Bruh, dude, everybody was laughing. It then, like, okay, so thing like, and Nick D brought up 10 with $10 super just says, spoilers, bury your dead, mourn your losses. You're the new queen. Dude, I hollered in the theater. No shame. No, I mean, I did too. I busted out laughing because, like, here's the thing. You say what you will. I don't care how the fuck you pronounce his name. That motherfucker was raw. That dude, honestly, I don't think we've seen a villain this raw, but maybe a couple of times in the MCU. Those being Killmonger and Thanos. But that dude, he literally was like, all right, cool, you the queen now, so you know what you got to do.
You know, folks in my theater were laughing when Winston Duke caught that Atlantean right hand from that.
Oh, yeah, he caught that Imperious Rex.
I could tell he was trying to get his breath back, but everybody thought he was like shrieking.
Oh no! I knew he got the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah.
Look, Namor knocked all the wind M'Baku thought he owned.
Yeah.
Namor repossessed it.
Motherfucker said the wind he thought he owned.
Yeah, Namor repossessed it. He said, "That's mine." That shit was on lease with an option to buy. But no, here, let's keep on moving on down the line here. Oh, wait, did I get it? Yeah, okay, I got him. What was another thing here? I also did think that one of the other things that was really interesting to me is kind of where everything got left in the end with Talokan and Wakanda. They're now allies They're allies. But you could tell there's people who don't like it already. Like, we haven't really seen it on the Wakandan side of things. I think the Wakandans are kind of like, yeah, fuck going to war with these motherfuckers. Fuck going to war with these sumbitches. But you could tell, like, Namora, she was not happy.
Oh yeah, she wanted smoke.
Yeah, she wanted smoke.
Reminded me of Comic Shuri. Comic Shuri was on site at all times.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what Namora in this reminded me of.
Yeah, no. Like, so for those that know what I'm talking about here, let's pull. So basically, right here in the middle, she was not pleased, not even, and you could tell. Here's the thing: I knew something was gonna happen because I was like, you know what? I actually had to apologize in the theater. I was like, Atuma, I got to give you some credit because you know what? You
call him a blue gaslighter.
I was like, you the blue gaslighter, but I was like, you know what? You actually ain't on that Fox News bullshit. I was like, I guess this is Marvel. You ain't on that Rox News bullshit. I was like, you actually about business. I said, you just want to fight. You like the Abomination in Incredible Hulk. You just want a real fight. That's all you want. You ain't really give a shit. Because that dude, he just wanted to whoop some ass. But Namora, no, she was like, I want to smoke. She was sitting here clowning that fool for why he hadn't killed Okoye yet.
Did you think she was gonna kill him? Because I thought she was gonna kill him.
Talk about Namor. Yeah. I thought something might happen, but I didn't think they would kill him off that easily. Not like that. I didn't think they would, because they kind of had already hinted that he was going to be setting up some other stuff. But I do think she's going to try to, because okay, here's the thing: in the comics, she's not that treacherous. Not really. Not on that level. And she's normally more in line with him than anybody else. She's actually the one that tries to keep him from going too crazy. But, like, I did think it was interesting that she was, like, the outlier. That she was like, nah, I don't like where this is going. But I did also appreciate that Namor made it actually pretty clear. The only reason that he sided with them was because he knows they will need Talokan somewhere down the road. And he knows that the next time that they're in trouble, the first people they're going to call on is them. And and basically he still gets what he wants in the end. That, whatever end game he's going for, he still gets it. So basically he's playing the long con here. But I feel like at some point, if there is going to be future conflicts between Talokan and Wakanda, it's going to be because of this bitch. That's what I feel. And whether Atuma is in on it or not is another story. Also, other thing I kind of wanted to address right quick is so what'd you think, because since we're talking about where things got left, what'd you think about the new status quo for Shuri in the MCU now?
Somebody in the chat said something I thought would have been interesting.
What's that?
Nobody except me said I wanted Comic Shuri after Killmonger appeared. I think because that's one thing we haven't talked about yet. But
I mean, they kind of she was going that direction.
Yeah, she was.
She was going that direction.
Even the suit kind of.
It was like his. It was his suit. I take that back. It wasn't his suit, but it was modeled after his suit. His suit was very much the same.
I'll say this. I don't know why, and I don't want to say I'm holding on to it, but even though she finally got her piece when she burned the gown,
funeral garbs,
the funeral garb, the robe and stuff like that. I still feel like she's still to try to get
holding
shit done. Yeah. So I'm thinking,
she's still holding on to it.
Go that route. I'm thinking she might go that route. I'm still holding on to. I'm thinking she might give it up. I'm thinking she might, or just be like I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it's funny you say that because technically, in a roundabout way, she did because she's not queen.
Mm-hmm.
She's not queen of Wakanda. That was what I was talking about. I was talking about that more than anything else. So for those who don't know what I'm talking about here, in this, in this, Shuri is elephant in the room. Shuri is not Queen of Wakanda. I mean, she was for like 2 seconds, but like she didn't want to rule or anything like that. And I think she kind of realizes she's too close. Like she's too close to it. And she would rather just be the protector of Wakanda as opposed to be its ruler. That's why M'Baku got left in charge.
You know what I think? It's back to what I said last week when we were talking about predictions. I really don't feel like she's going to stay Black Panther long. I think she was Black Panther right now again because her mom died, and this is what Wakanda needed at that moment.
At the
they
time.
needed a Black Panther. So I think subsequent stuff, I don't think she's going to have that mantle.
No.
I still honestly believe that.
Here's the thing. I think when we do see Black Panther for the foreseeable future, I think it will be her. I don't think it's gonna be M'Baku.
No.
I don't think it's gonna be M'Baku. I think Shuri will remain Black Panther. I just think she's not going to be queen. And I think eventually, somewhere down the road, they will find a way to bring T'Challa back, whether it's through his son or whether it's through Secret Wars or some combination of the two. Kind of like, you know what I wouldn't be surprised if they did, especially considering everything we've seen in both Marvel and DC with child characters. DC did this, Marvel has done this, though Marvel is doing this in a very different way. DC did this with Jonathan Kent, where that dude was like 12 years old, ran off to space with his daddy, came back a whole teenager. They did the same thing with Starbrand in Jason Aaron's Avengers, where Starbrand came in, newborn baby. By the time Heroes Reborn came around, whole ass fucking 7-8-year-old kid. By the time they got done with what was it? There was another something else that happened. Came back, motherfucker was a whole teenager. Now she a whole grown ass, old ass woman, but that's a whole other story. But no, what I'm getting at here is just the fact that they're leaving the door open for all the things to happen, and honestly, the only people who know how it's going to truly play out are the motherfuckers who were in that room when they came up with the plan in the first place. But that said,
Ooh, real quick.
yeah, what's up? Go ahead.
Real quick. When we got the Killmonger return,
Yeah.
because Sully Walker just said something in the chat. Because I was thinking this.
Yeah.
When Shuri went around to that chair, did you expect it to be bossed in that chair?
No. I did not.
Because
I'm gonna tell you what I thought.
Okay.
I thought it was like, because so I saw something sticking out over the chair. I
it was her mom's
assumed
hat at first.
I did too at first. However, when she started turning I don't know, because of how long it took for them to turn that chair around, that was when I was like, it's not her mom. I didn't, I even kind of said as much when we were doing our predictions. Like, I felt like at some way, shape, form, or fashion, we would probably see Killmonger in some shape, form, or fashion. I know a lot of people thought we were going to see him come back, like, physically, like, be alive again. I've never believed that. I believed anytime we would see Killmonger again, it would be on the Wakandan ancestral plane. But I did think it was interesting how they set it all up, like, why she saw him as opposed to... Well, we know for obvious reasons why she didn't see T'Challa because, well, for realistically speaking, because Marvel was very clear when Chadwick Boseman died, they were not going to recast him, they were not going to use CG, they were not going to use a body double.
Yeah.
So that was out, period.
Yeah, I did.
But
was the first thing from my mind. But like for
but
when I saw something sticking up, I thought it was the mom, and then I said, "What if it's Boss? That would be crunk if it was."
I think it would have been too much. I think if it was Boss, it would have been too much to introduce into that movie after everything else. It would have been way too much, and not to mention, I feel like it would have undercut things a little bit. If that makes any sense. I feel like we'll see Bost eventually, but I don't think we need to see it like right this second. But I do feel like Killmonger was appropriate, just considering how I like how Ryan Coogler tied everything back to Killmonger's actions in the first movie. The fact that, Shuri couldn't save her brother. She couldn't save T'Challa because they didn't have any heart-shaped herb. And they didn't have any heart-shaped herb because Killmonger burned it all. So basically, it was kind of like a subconscious hate that she had been carrying with her. And that's what kind of drug him to the forefront. But I did think it was interesting, like he was kind of trying to be like a negative influence. And, she did see her mom eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But, I thought it was interesting that, when she was, in her lowest, she saw something that, would provoke hatred.
Shout out to the white man sitting next to me who whispers in my ear when she comes down in the suit. I bet you Killmonger possessed her.
Get the fuck.
Swear to you, this dude has not said anything to me this entire time and comes out of nowhere just to whisper, yeah, I bet you Killmonger possessed her.
Hold on.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
I'm just saying. That's the dumbest shit I think I have ever heard in my life. Okay? That's literally the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my fucking life. But anyway, carrying on from that.
Yeah.
Here, let me see. So I want to make sure that I'm up to speed here. That nothing be left behind. Actually, we did lose one in here. B-Ball Trading with the 499 says, did y'all notice that Wakandans didn't pronounce Namor's name the way that he introduced himself? Think that was intentional? Probably. Well, and one thing, I actually heard Ryan Coogler say this, that everybody says it differently because it's just the way language works. It's because, but here's the thing. If you are German, you're going to pronounce things the way that you would probably pronounce them in German, even if it's not from that language. It's kind of the way that, how... I try to do my best to pronounce things the way they are pronounced in their native tongue. I know, for instance, case in point, I'll use this as an example. In high school, I took German. But just period, I watch a lot of anime and a lot of Japanese things. So I know the difference between, an EI sound in Japanese versus an EI sound in German. In German, an EI is an I sound. In Japanese, an EI is an A sound. But depending on what something's origin is, depending on what it is, it can be different. So, and sometimes I've seen people who come from other countries, if they try and pronounce a name or a word or something that's outside of their language, they're gonna pronounce it the way that's common to them. It's the same reason why, remember how people used to be really racist about how Japanese people pronounce things that started with an L? Because they don't have an L in their language. There's no L in the Japanese language. That's why they pronounce L with R, because it's the closest thing to it. It's kind of the same thing. I think Marvel is keenly, and I think I've even heard Stan Lee pronounce it this way too. It just is what it is. I think they just recognize more people commonly say Namor, and other people say it another way. And if it was
we still got people in 2022 still saying Ryu. Let people say what they want to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Here's the thing. I won't correct you, but I will laugh at you. And I leave it at that. I will laugh at you to myself. And I don't expect any... I'm not saying I expect the same treatment, but I'm just saying, I'm not going to sit here and try... unless you were just... here's the thing. There's a difference between calling someone the wrong name and pronouncing someone's name incorrectly.
Mm-hmm.
So, if... Especially... And now, there's a difference if I know you know how to say it correctly and you're just being an ass. That's another story. However... If someone, case in point, you kept saying Chadwick Boseman's name was Chadwick Baldwin. That's not his name.
Oh, my fucking God.
That's not his name. Period. There's a difference. It's kind of like potato to me. You can say it your way. I can say it my way. Hell, there's still people out here, even though, like, and I remember I used to always tell people that Thanos' name was Thanos. I still remember a lot of motherfuckers, like, when I first started doing videos on YouTube, when people kept trying to say, it's Thanos. I was like, no one says that. And people got mad at me for it. And then, what is his name in the MCU? Thanos. I think I heard one person in the MCU call him Thanos once, and it was never uttered again. It is what it is. I mean, you can either... Like, here's the thing. You can either be mad about it or get the fuck over it and move on with your day. Because I'm not going to be mad about it. I don't care. That said, let's move on to this one right here. Carlos Johnson with the 1999 super chat says, hey fellas, I really hope they dive more into Jalea for Black Panther 3, like how Shuri got brought back. I want to see the real White Wolf too. Also, we about to get Black Panther kids. Folks forgot Killmonger has a daughter. How can I join the cave? What do you mean, how can you join the cave? That's the part I'm lost on. Everything else I get. That's the one. I mean, like, you're here. You're watching. You've joined. As far as being on the cave, that's a whole other story altogether. This is just a me and Carter thing. We occasionally have guests.
I was gonna say you can't say that.
That's why I said we occasionally have guests that are promoting something that, like, you know, whether it's their comic or something along those lines. But yeah, I don't just typically just invite people on just cause. That is another story. I have thought about taking calls, but that gets kind of hairy. And
radio show now? Oh man!
I mean, you know, it's a thing.
Mike Evans in the early morning too.
Hey, look, hey! Wait, you want me to? Yo, it's DJ Envy, Charlemagne, Angela Yee, Charlemagne the God.
You could have said anybody. You said Envy. You lose points for that.
No, I mean no, but in all reality, I actually did think about doing it that way, like actually having it something that can be on the radio as well, but then I'd have to censor myself, and I just don't care to do that. That said, we got another one here from Jonathan Motor with $100. Says, that's what happens when you wish on a monkey's paw. Hey, he's talking about what you said earlier about the folks wishing for shit. I mean, that's why you don't wish on a monkey's paw. I'm highly superstitious. I would not.
I'm saying, you gotta be specific in what you ask for. Because all y'all said, even the Snyder people, their shit said, release the Snyder cut. They got what they wanted. Y'all said recast T'Challa. Y'all weren't specific in shit.
Y'all didn't say who y'all wanted to be recast with.
That's why y'all got that little one coming out there with I almost call her Miss Thickness. Lupita or Nakia. See, you gotta be specific, man. Y'all say
and here's another thing. I want to.
They done snatch one of them little children off the Disney Channel for y'all asses.
I want to go back. I want to go back on something too, because you mentioned somebody said something about respecting the lore. Okay, if we don't want to talk about respecting the lore, Nakia's supposed to be a villain.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Nakia's a bad guy. Well, she's not anymore. She's dead in the comics now. But like for most of the time that she's been in the comics, she's been a villain. Because she was a woman. She was one of the Dora that was always with T'Challa. She fell in love with him and thought that he loved her back. And when he said, "Girl, get back," she lost her mind and tried to kill him. And tried to kill any woman who she thought loved him. So yeah, that's why I say yeah. So if you want to talk about respecting the lore, keep that same energy. Anyway, LJ Brown with the £5 says, Blerd Carter, you think they will age him up like Jonathan? We just talked about this. I've heard that theory, so him and Storm match up. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I just kind of threw that out there just as kind of like a what-if scenario. But yeah, that just is what it is. Mr. Ether or Mr. 3/3 with the $5 super chat says, I was confused when Shuri said she was sending the car to Boston, but they mentioned meeting in Chicago one day. Well, I think because she's in MIT.
Big. I caught that too.
Yeah, she's in. Well, okay, so for those who don't know, so Riri goes to MIT. That's not just a thing for the movie. That's in the comics as well. She lives in Chicago.
Yeah.
She's born and raised in Chicago, but she goes to school at MIT. So that's why they said that. Extra with the 1999 super chat says, my friends and I were saying that young teen T'Challa could hook up with a teenaged Aurora. That could be a thing, maybe. I'm not. Honestly, we shall see. We shall see. And then John Lamoda coming in hot with the super chat sticker. This is actually it took me a minute to realize that's a hippo. That took me a minute to realize that was a hippo. We also got Mr. 3/3 with $5 says, young T'Challa going to be the one that smashed Storm? Look, y'all are already... Look, I'm trying not to think about no baby. Trying to give it no grown-ass woman. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna. Sorry. I'm not even. No, I'm not. Look, because that'll get you put on a watch list. Then we also got Carlos Johnson with the 1999 super chat. Man, we're getting these in. Says, do you notice Namor versus Shuri was on a beach like their first meeting in Doom War like Black Panther 11? Yes, I did. I actually did catch that. For those that don't know, this was actually during Black Panther Volume 5, when Shuri had first taken over, and was actually, I think, one of the last issues of that run before Doom War. But, and Namor put them paws on her. He broke that ass off, but she gave as good as she got. But I thought it was really cool. So I was hoping that comes back to bite them in the butt and have Dr. Doom watching, and we find out it was Latveria. I don't know. I was really hoping they would have done some kind of tease for Dr. Doom. They didn't in this movie, at least none that I caught. But I do feel like it is something that could be on the horizon at some point, considering the thing Namor said about them needing allies. But that could have just as easily have been in reference to the United States and other nations trying to go against Wakanda. But
that picture with Dr. Doom that everybody was talking about was about as real as Tom Cruise in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes, it was. Elite X1 with the $5 super chat says, only thing I was wondering is where Namor got those bombs. That tech was very high, in my opinion, for Talocons. Well, I mean, here's the thing. They had some very interesting stuff going on. We really didn't get to see a lot of what they could do. We knew that they could harness the sun underneath the water. We saw that they could harness sunlight underwater. Which I thought was interesting. So, I mean, if they could do that, I think those bombs aren't that much of a surprise. Because they have vibranium. They have technology. They may not be as high-tech as, like, Wakanda, but they do have tech. Also, I really liked what they did with the sirens. How they had those people, like, they had the sirens come up and, like, sing to the people and have them, like, walk off the ledges. That shit was kind of baller. I thought that was really cool. Dominic Coles with $5 says Namor was like dude from Snowfall. Bodies. God damn. Let's see here. We got another here's another one's last super chat, and then we're gonna move on to the next thing. With the $5 super chat says big spoiler when Ramonda died. I was like, damn you, Carter. My wife was like, who the fuck is Carter? Says love this channel. Hey, we appreciate you back, Pimp. We love you back. But no, I thought it was cool. So was it like a reactor? Maybe. I don't know. I kind of feel like it was just something they had just to kind of give them. I honestly kind of saw it more as something to give them a taste of what they used to have, because they can't live on land. And Atlanteans on average can only survive on the surface for like 5, maybe 10 minutes before they suffocate to death. Which in the MCU, it kind of seems like that's not even the case. Like, even just being on the surface for like a few seconds is damn near suffocating them. So take that how you want to. Let's go ahead and move on to our next thing. We're going to try and be like hyper quick with these. Spider-Punk. I got Spider-Punk coming to the Spider-Verse sequel, Across the Spider-Verse. Carter, what'd you think about this? What'd you think about this news about Spider-Punk? Oh, Hobie come to the Spider-Verse realm of things.
So here's where you might get a little bit annoyed with me.
Okay.
I don't really care. Reason being, The only thing I know about Spider-Punk was the book that Marvel was publishing for a while there, and it had the same writer from that What If Miles Morales shit that I fucking hated. So that is where my Spider-Punk stuff begins and ends.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally it. It would be for you and everybody else that's watching and listening and stuff like that to kind of put me on game when it comes to Spider-Punk. Because I'm interested in the character. It's just the book that I've seen with that character in it was from a writer I did not like and did not like the book that I was reading either. So you all just had to put me on game when it comes to that.
Okay, so basically, okay, all right, well, here's the deal. Spider-Punk, who actually, he's kind of one of those characters, he's kind of like Spider-Gwen. He's a character who's known by one name as far as like the title you see on the comic, but actually goes by a different name in the comics. Like, you know how like Spider-Gwen is what we see on the cover. But she's actually like Spider-Woman or Ghost Spider now. Yeah. Like in universe. It's the same thing for Spider-Punk. He's not actually called Spider-Punk by anybody except, you know, by other people. Like, he doesn't even like being called Spider-Punk. In his universe, he's just Spider-Man. He is just the Spider-Man, period. But the thing I think is funny about this, that I think is absolutely positively just knee-slappingly hilarious about this, is that when I saw this, okay, so for those who don't know, Daniel Kaluuya, is the one who got announced as portraying the character, or voicing the character rather, in the upcoming Spider-Verse sequel. Now, here's the funny thing about it. I saw a lot of people that were kind of mad. And I don't understand why. Because I saw people getting upset that, oh man, they're just, because, you know, it was the whole thing they did was like Spider-Woman. You know, they were like, oh hey, Issa Rae's gonna be playing Spider-Woman in the Spider-Verse sequel, and everybody, you know, they're getting kind of tilted about that. It's like, oh, they're blackwashing, you know, they're blackwashing all our characters and this, that, and the third. But here's the thing. A lot of people, they were kind of starting to try to say the same thing about Spider-Punk.
Yeah.
And then I just started sharing this. That dude was black from the jump. Because a lot of people don't realize who he is. That's the Prowler. It's a universe where Peter Parker isn't Spider-Man, but the guy who is normally the Prowler on Earth 616, he is Spider-Man, and when he is Spider-Man, he's Spider-Punk, even though he's Spider-Man. A lot of people were just really upset about that, and I didn't understand it. I was like, dude, this is how you, because I think what happens a lot of times, Carter, people assume that because a character exists in one Earth in the multiverse, that all other versions of them will look just like them. And it's one of those deals like in the Spider-Verse, it's not really the case. Not every Spider-Man is Peter Parker. Some of them are. Actually, a lot of them are. But there's also quite a few who aren't. So I always just found it interesting that the people went they went that direction. Because, like, this wasn't some new thing that they did. They didn't, like, oh, he was white originally and then they changed him. No, he was always black. It's like the very first, because I think the image I just showed was from the second issue of Spider-Verse, which was not long after his first appearance. He literally appeared, like, I think in an Amazing Spider-Man. It was Amazing Spider-Man number 10. Which was also during Spider-Verse. So, like, it wasn't something that just mysteriously and miraculously changed, you know, for no reason. It's the way it always was. Right. So, yeah. But, yeah, that said, I don't know. I think it's cool. I think it's interesting. They're gonna have more Spider-Man in this movie, because we already know Spider-Man 2099 is in it. We know Spider-Woman's going to be in it. We know that Japanese Spider-Man is going to be in it, along with his giant mecha, Leopardon.
Yeah.
And then there's still some other versions of Spider-Man that we don't know whether or not they're going to be in it or whatever. I think it's safe to say you can probably assume characters like Spider-Man UK might be in it. Spider-Man India might be in it. I could see either one of those popping up for one reason or another. You might. I don't know if we'll. I can't remember if they ever said anything about Silk or anything like that. But I just know you'll be getting. Oh, that's the other thing. Because I don't think we ever talked about this, but apparently the PS4 Spider-Man PS4 is going to be in it as well. So.
Oh, that Spider-Man is actually in the current adjective list Spider-Man book that Dan Slott is doing.
Yeah,
he's actually in there because
he was in Spider-Geddon.
Well, see, it's weird. This current Spider-Man story is fighting a different Spider-Verse.
Yeah, this is something else. Yeah,
but that Spider-Man is in it. He's one of the bad guys. He's possessed or some such shit. But he was one of the ones I did see. See, if they putting him in there, and this is a very big ass if they put the one from the game in there, and they putting fucking Silk in there.
Mm-hmm.
I just want Superior. That's all I ask.
You might get it. You might get it.
You might get Superior Spider-Man in there, man.
You just want to hear the dice cast. That's all you want to hear.
No, I want some respect put on Superior Spider-Man from that atrocious Crystal's Gauge run, bruh.
I don't think that we'll see him. I don't know if we'll see him in this one. I don't think we'll see Superior Spider-Man in this one. But you got to remember. No. Just let me finish. What I'm saying is, I don't think that they will have that in this movie, but we know that it's broken into two parts, which apparently they're no longer calling Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 and 2. The third one is actually going to have a completely different name.
Okay, they're doing the Infinity War joint. Okay.
Yeah, kind of like, because remember it was supposed to be Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War, and then they ended up just doing Infinity War and Endgame instead, because it was supposed to be Part 1, Part 2. But yeah, they're doing the same thing where now it's going to be just two. It's still two parts. It's just they're not going to be called Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 and Across the Spider-Verse Part 2. They're not doing that again. But that said, I think that if we do get Superior Spider-Man, it'll be in that third one, if we get him at all. We might get some nods to him in this one, but I don't think we'll see him right away.
With. Yeah, that's what I'll be cool with, because we got nods to the game one in the first movie.
Yeah. Well, and it's not even just that. It's because I feel like if you introduce too many Spider-Men in one movie, like they kind of walked a fine line in Into the Spider-Verse, where of course you had Miles, you had Peter B. Parker, and you even had I guess what you could technically call the Ultimate Universe Spider-Man, the blonde Peter Parker that died early on, and then of course you had like Penny Parker, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Ham, so on and so forth.
What they put Chasm in this motherfucker?
I mean, hey, I wouldn't be mad at it. I do not have a problem with that character the way you do. It's one of those things. I will go back to what I said before, man. Fictional characters. So it is what it is. But that said, I guess let's go ahead and move on to our next thing, and then because I want to kind of get through these real quickly. Just because I want to keep it keep the time good. Last thing, and then I promise I'll get into like all the super chats and stuff that I just saw come in. But the DC universe is undergoing cleanup duty. James Gunn has not. I mean, it's basically kind of been put out there that James Gunn, Peter Safran, who are taking over the DC Universe, DC Studios, which, by the way, it's not the DCEU anymore, it's the DC Universe. So basically the DCU, same as the MCU. And DC Studios, just like Marvel Studios. I wonder where they got those ideas from. But anyway, basically the whole idea is that now they basically said they are going to be, and this really isn't necessarily from them, it's actually more from David Zaslav, that they are now going to be trying to make everything more cohesive. Remember how before, Carter, we would have the CW verse, and then there was like the shit that was on the DC Universe app, and then there was like the movies, and in the middle should neither of the three ever meet. Like the Suicide Squad was on the CW verse, and then the Suicide Squad was in the movies. Two completely different things that have shit to do with shit. It was also the reason why characters like Deathstroke got written out of the Arrowverse, because they didn't want to confuse people by having two different Deathstrokes. Rather just because they just couldn't wrap their skull around, maybe just make it the same guy or whatever. But no, they wanted to have star power, which is why they didn't do it. But I'm saying all this to say that, and I know there's going to be that one nerd in the chat that's be like, well, technically, they actually merged all the DC Universe stuff when they did the Crisis of the... Shut the fuck up. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about just the idea that it didn't take a huge TV show to make them tangentially related. Because even then, even though they technically exist in the same multiverse, they all don't exist in the same continuity. So, like, now they're saying that the plan, and this is from David Zaslav, so take this how you want to, after all the shit he done canceled, he says the plan is to build a Bible for a cohesive DC universe. One that is overarching across live-action films, TV, animation, gaming, and more. That means that basically the idea is to actually have continuity on the same level that Marvel has, at least in terms of movies and TV shows, because they don't really do continuity with games. It's been made very explicitly clear. The games ain't got shit to do with the MCU. At least not as far as they're concerned. But the idea that, yeah, we're going to try and make this all one universe so that people can come at it from any angle and have that cross-pollination and all that stuff. Carter, why did it take them this long to figure that out?
I want to say it's because they had a money man in charge and not a movie man in charge.
Okay, I'll buy that.
I think David Zaslav, I think, was more so looking for the dollar. I think James Gunn is going to do both, where you can look at the dollar, but also the story, with him being a filmmaker, and that's someone who cares about their stories, no matter how outrageous those stories could be, whether it be a Brightburn, whether it be a Super, you have somebody that's going to look at stories while also trying to keep the money there as well. And the reason I say Super is because Super is a lot of people's favorite movies from James Gunn, and it was relatively cheap. The horror movie he did was
Brightburn.
I can't remember. No, not Brightburn.
How about Slither?
Thank you.
Okay.
That was relatively cheap, so he can look at it from that money perspective while also keeping fun, good stories. Because like with Super was a nice story, Slither was a nice story, Brightburn, whatever the fuck.
It was about 15.
So,
I think Slither was a $15 million movie, and if I'm not mistaken, it made about $12.8 million at the box office, which, that's not... it didn't make its money back, but, it also wasn't necessarily hurting. He made... Plus,
you got to think about when that
Super
movie
was
came
made
out.
for $2 million.
Yeah.
Super was made for, like, $2.5 million. With a box office of... Ooh, wow. Actually, man, I didn't realize it didn't make that much money. It made just over $500,000.
Well, one thing I was going to say, just because of this Matt Damon thing, this interview I saw with Matt Damon, a lot of times, even if they don't make their money back in box office, you have to take home video into the equation, because you got to think when those movies came out. So they're probably, especially with Super, because Super is one of those like cult classic things, not like with Slither and stuff like that. So I guarantee you probably made his money back on like DVDs and shit like that. But again, just to go back to your original question, I just think it's because now you have a movie and a money man in charge, as opposed to just a money man. Like, we need to do this. I'm trying to get that bread big time. So I think this would be better. I think this would be better for them for sure. I don't.
Oh
think
yeah, no, 100%.
People shouldn't expect just because James Gunn makes like bloody, just outrageous fucking movies. I don't think people should expect that he's just going to do that for all these movies. So I think it's in good hands, and I mean, if he's trying to clean shit up, more power to him.
Yeah.
I mean,
They got a 10-year plan now. They actually have a 10-year. They actually They actually do have a 10-year plan, which is what Marvel has been operating on for like 5 ever.
Yeah.
And I think James Gunn, he's been on the inside of Marvel. He knows what works and what doesn't. He knows, because I think that's the problem with a lot of these people that try to make all these cinematic universes, whether it's the Dark Universe, which that shit, they tried to get that off the ground twice and failed miserably both times. You also had, what do they call it, the Glassverse? Or whatever, with Split and all that shit.
Breakable stuff.
Yeah, like that was like a cinematic universe after the fact, and they couldn't even bank on the little bit of bullshit they did have. Because I think while everybody liked Unbreakable and everybody liked Split, I know very few people who actually like Glass.
Glass didn't stick the landing.
No,
to a lot of people.
Yeah, well, I mean, but the thing is, that's what happens when you try and build a cinematic universe off some shit that you filmed years ago and try and tie it to keep up with what's trendy right now. When you try and make a cinematic universe, you have to have a plan. You can't just say, "Oh, we'll just do this, and then we'll do this, and then okay, then everything else people will come in and buy it, and it'll be great. It'll make millions and millions of dollars if we just get the right actors involved." It's like, no, you gotta have a plan. It has to be a plan. And now it's nice to know that after all those years of Warner Brothers saying they had a plan for the DC media, that they put out, it's nice to know that maybe there's actually some truth to that. Because imagine, Carter, if you will, DC having continuity across everything. Like, imagine if when you went to go see, like, okay, case in point. Like, let's just imagine recent memory, where, let's say, the Suicide Squad came out, and then a little bit down the road, we got, like, a DC animated movie that was about the Suicide Squad. But instead of it just being some, like, one-off thing or something that don't really have anything to do with anything else, what if that was actually, like, James Gunn's Suicide Squad that was in that animated movie? And they're voiced by the same people, acting the way they did in the movie. If you actually had that level of continuity where you could actually bring in the actors who were involved in those things in live action, and let's say, okay, we got a game coming up, Suicide Squad versus the Justice League. Well, rather than having some of the same people that, I wouldn't expect them to get the same actors in the game, but if they did, cool. If not, whatever. But just imagine if there was that continuity between them. Like, it's like, oh, the Suicide Squad you saw in the movie is the same Suicide Squad that you see in the animated movies, the same Suicide Squad you see in the video games, the Batman that you see in these movies is the same Batman you see everywhere else, and then be done with it. That is kind of the thing I'm talking about.
I don't know. I feel like that might be doing a little bit too much. Mm-hmm. Because it's different people, different studios. That's what I'm saying.
They're not doing that anymore. That's what I'm saying. That's literally what I was just talking about. David Zaslav is talking about making, like, having continuity, actually having that same, like, the same way the Marvel does, or the same, like, for the most part. They don't get it with everybody, because, like, with, with What If, they couldn't get everybody back. Yeah. To do the voices, but they got the people who they could.
Yeah, but
that was
the
my TV
point.
shows and the movies and stuff like that, they actually get those people to come back. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but that was my point. It was just like that would have been doing a little bit too much for a motherfucker who was trying to save money.
Well, no. I'm not talking about saving money. I'm just saying, get that shit out your head. I'm talking about just imagine. I'm not even talking about David Zaslav at this point. I'm talking about Warner Brothers as we knew them before Zaslav came into play.
Got you.
Imagine if they did it that way. Like, the Deathstroke you saw in that fire-ass season of Arrow, season 2, if that was the Deathstroke, could you imagine? I mean, granted, movie was not great, but, like, I know a lot of people like Joe Manganiello, but Imagine how much better that scene would have been if the Deathstroke you saw walking up on Jesse Eisenberg's, I ain't calling that motherfucker Lex Luthor, on Jesse Eisenberg's ship.
It was Manu Bennett.
It was Manu Bennett. If it was Crixus, if Crixus walked up on that motherfucker and not...
How many people gonna catch them forever?
Hey, man, I wasn't the only motherfucker watching Spartacus. I'm just gonna put that out there. Y'all was watching Spartacus too. Y'all was waiting for Lucy Laws to pop one of them titties out. Don't play. But anyway... But what I'm saying is, imagine if when we, once again, your mileage is going to vary, but what if when we got to actually having a Flash movie that it wasn't Ezra Miller, that it was Grant Gustin? Because they're trying to be like, oh, we got the TV show, the movie, the TV show's coming to an end. Let's get to these movies. We're going to put them in the movies. That would be cool. I think that would be awesome. I think that would be like a best case scenario all the way around. But now we actually might see something like that. And we don't have to worry about the CW because apparently outside of Gotham Knights, there's not really going to be that many more CW because I think Stargirl...
that show exists, man.
Well, the CW got sold. So they're under new management now, and they're not going to have as many DC TV shows on there anymore. That's the new thing. So Gotham Knights will be the only one for the foreseeable future because Stargirl got canceled just recently. So this season is their last season.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Because I know that was your show. Or at least that first season. You big up that.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought, honestly, I thought it was one of the better shows on CW in a long time because it actually did legacy characters the way I felt they should have been done for the most part. I'm fine with it because I can still watch it. It's not like it's gone. But I mean, I feel like you can't take. Okay, so a TV show can only go so far, and honestly, I'd rather them go out at 3 seasons and still be good than go the Black Lightning route and start getting shitty that season. We know that they getting canceled. It's like, 'cause I think we knew Black Lightning was getting canceled before the season even came out. And it was like that season actually showed because they couldn't wrap up everything in a nice, neat bow because they had planned on having another season. So, yeah, it is what it is.
Stargirl got 3 seasons. Y'all couldn't even do nothing for Swamp Thing. I'm still going to be tight about that, dude.
Well, the thing with Swamp Thing was it was expensive. And they also were getting money from the state of, was it Virginia?
I can't remember what state it was, but I think
it was Virginia.
It was something like that.
Yeah, it was Virginia, I think. Or it might have been North Carolina. Either way, don't fucking matter. Point of the matter is that there was some bullshit going on with that, and it led to that show basically because Warner Bros. Was like, oh yeah, y'all were supposed to be reimbursing us on this shit, and it didn't happen. But anyway, I think this is for the best. It's for the best. This is the only way it should go. It's the only way it needs to go. Just let that be what it is, and I think we'll all be better for it. Personally. Me personally. I guess with that said, Carter, let's get into our recommendeds. Or actually, before we get into recommendations, I actually do want to answer. We're going to answer super chats real quick because we got super chats. I want to make sure we don't forget about here. Let's see here. We got one from the homie Daydream with 1999. Super chat says Street saying they're gonna have to bring back Jessica Alba for this Namor. Emily Blunt ain't gonna cut it. I mean, look, I'm sorry. There's no way you can convince me that Jessica Alba is Sue Storm. I'm sorry. At least not the Jessica Alba we got back then. Maybe today's Jessica Alba, sure, but no, I'm good.
You gonna put some respect on Dark Angel now.
You know how long it's been since Dark Angel, Carter? Do you know? No. I'm
gonna be real nasty. You gonna put some respect on Sin City? Motherfuckers can't even remember her name in that movie. They just call her Sin City. Bro.
Oh God, Lord. Oh shit! Actually, I had vague. Actually, you saying that made me forget her name because it was actually on the tip of my damn tongue. But yeah, let's go back to that old 2000s, that old early aughts TV going for Dark Angel. No, I'm good on all that. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like that show was as fire as everybody tried to convince me it was. Robbie Feather with 20 months. We preach that young T'Challa will grow up and clap Namor. I mean, I don't think that'll happen. I mean, maybe. He don't really got a reason to, though. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he'd be mad. He's like, you killed my grandma. You kill Graham. But no, I don't know how that's gonna play out. That said, now let's get into our recommendations. Carter, what is your recommendation for the week?
He has been very inconsistent as of late, but it's when you leave him alone with his favorite artist, I think you can get some gold out of that man. So my recommended this week is for everyone to check out Tom King's Human Target. It's through DC Black Label. I'm really enjoying that story. It's not your typical like capes and cows kind of thing. I think that's why I'm enjoying it so much, because it reads. There are some capes and cows in it, but it's to a minimum, and it almost reads like an image book to me. If a lot of you all understand what I mean when I say that. The basic premise is fairly simple. The human target is someone who goes undercover as someone else to figure out who's doing what. And in this story, he disguises himself as Lex Luthor. He's paid by Lex Luthor to disguise himself because there is an assassination attempt on Lex Luthor's life. Human target ends up getting poisoned, and now it's a race against the clock because he should be dead in 12 days, I want to say, from this poison. So he's trying to figure out who the fuck did it and if there is a way to fix said problem. The book reads really well. If you enjoyed his Miracle Man, if you enjoyed his Omega Men, which I have on my shelf, that's one of my favorite books from that dude. That's one of my favorite Marvel books, or DC books, I should say.
I was sure something like, excuse me?
I was gonna say that was my favorite book from him, from Marvel or DC, because I was gonna say right behind it. I wouldn't say this was anything like Vision. I would say if you really liked his Miracle Man stuff, I think you'll really enjoy the Human Target. Though some of those cliffhangers will really catch you off guard, and then it has fantastic art with it, man. So I can't recommend that book enough. The Human Target's going to be my recommended this week.
Okay, well, I'm going to do mine a bit faster. My recommended is going to be God of War Ragnarok. That said, I have not beaten the game yet, but I've gotten pretty far into it, and I've enjoyed every ounce of it. Probably one of the better games I have played this year, short of Elden Ring.
I gotta watch the chat, make sure no one spoils anything.
I mean, if they do, I'm not gonna see it because by the time that I pull the chat back up, it'll probably be gone. So there you go. Have on that. But anyway, no, I've thoroughly been enjoying this game. It starts off a little bit slow to me at first, but once it gets going, man, it is off to the races. Everything in this game is just fantastic. Combat is good, if not better than I remember it. I would definitely say I also like the way they do the boss battles. In this game, they're definitely done a lot better. The difficulty is like just at the right sweet spot where like it's not too easy, not too difficult. It's like right there in the middle, right where I like it. Like this, some things are difficult, but like if you try hard enough or you figure out the patterns, you work at it, you'll get it. Also, a lot of deepness in the combat of the game, techniques you can use. And then the story itself is just that. It's a great story. It's definitely a story that it's difficult to talk about without giving anything away. But definitely gonna be a top contender for I think a lot of people's game of the year. Like I said, it's not mine because I'm sorry, Elden Ring, which is that good. I didn't put 400 hours on Elden Ring for that game to not be my game of the year. I played the fuck out that game. I don't think I'll put that much into this, but I think it's going to be one of those games that when I play through it, I will enjoy it and I will remember it very fondly. That said, Carter, let's get into questions from the Discord. And I think we actually got some. Oh, wow. Yep, here we go. Let's see here what we got. We got one from Ed Boy in the Cut says, what do you think would be the next movie's direction regarding Black Panther? Personally, I think doing the Intergalactic Empire would be a great way to do something different for a third and have it be fresh and original. What do you all think? I think you could do it. I think you would need some setup though, and with everything going on with Secret Wars, it would be kind of timely because that is technically when Black Panther set that up, was during Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars. But I do know that a lot of people close to the situation have said don't expect the Secret Wars movie to be exactly like Jonathan Hickman. So just kind of, I'm gonna take that how I'm basically grain of salt is what I'm gonna take it with. But if they did it, I think it would be cool. It would be interesting. It would definitely be different, and I think it would be something that would translate really well to a movie. But at the same time, I also feel like it'd be something that would be better if you did it in a series as opposed to a movie, if that makes any sense. I feel like you could flesh it out better. We got one from Qdama, says, do you think Namor would get his own movie? This could be a good way to slowly work in the X-Men later on. I think he might. I know that Tenoch Huerta has mentioned it, that he would like to do his own movies as the Submariner, but for me, personally, while I see Carter shaking his head, I think it's actually something that could be quite possible, because, well, for one, he is an MCU villain that, for one, is not dead, and for two, is an actor who clearly already has a quick in with the fan base. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Marvel is really good about pivoting on things like that. So while they might not have had him in the plannings, maybe Kevin Feige didn't necessarily have him in the planning phases for a solo movie, I definitely think that Tenoch Huerta's performance in Wakanda Forever might make Kevin Feige reconsider some shit. Even if he doesn't get a solo movie, I think you will definitely see him in other shit. Because Kevin Feige actually did, that was, once again, Kevin Feige has also said he has big plans for that character beyond just Wakanda Forever. So, yeah, we can pretend that we don't read the tea leaves correctly, but I'm going to say he ain't done yet.
I could see him, I could just see him having a limited run show, kind of like Moon Knight and stuff like that, than a movie. I don't know why. I could see that happening a lot faster and more of a definitive thing of him getting a show than a movie.
Well, I mean, I think a show would be better just to explore the character, but regardless of what he gets, if he gets a solo anything, I wouldn't be surprised by it. We got another one here. Shadow the Cat 99 says, have you read Arrow's comic series from 2019? I have not. It says, if you did, what'd you think of it? I have no clue. I am almost done with it, and I think she is one of my favorite Marvel characters now. I'm familiar with the character. I have not read her solo. I'll actually put it on my short list of things to read, and maybe we can revisit this later. Carter, did you read it? Okay, then that answers that. Urban Princess Strong Style says, do you think that Angela Bassett should be the MCU Storm? No, I don't. To be honest, the only person I see as Storm is her. After seeing her with the white hair in the first Black Panther movie, all I can see is Storm. I appreciate that that's all you see, but no. I mean, I'm not saying she wouldn't do a good job at it, but no, I'm good. I'm good on that. If 20 years ago, sure. When all them Wizard magazines were doing the fan casting thing in each issue, yeah, because I think Angela Bassett was always Storm, and pretty much every time they did one with her in it. But yeah, no, I'm good. Because at this point, I want there to be parity between all of the various X-Men that they put in the MCU, like having them at least be somewhat close in age. And while Black don't crack, Angela Bassett is fine, the motherfucker, but if you put her next to a bunch of young people, I will notice, and it will throw me out of the whole thing. It's not an ageism thing. This just is what it is. Qdoma says, actually, let's see here. Tell you what, since we already got one from you, Qdoma, we're going to read this next one, and I'll save this one for next week. Also, we actually have I tell you what, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read one you sent from last week, because you sent two last week. I already read the one from this week. I'm going to read you one from last week. This one we got right here, we're going to save for next week. Because we're trying to... Times tables, y'all. Times tables. We getting out of here before 3 hours. But I'll answer this. Has anyone seen the horror movie Nope? I thought it was good. Yes, I saw it. I thought it was good. I thought it was funny and hilarious, and I laughed a lot, and I was never scared because it's not a scary movie. I don't even really consider it a horror movie. I think of it more as a suspense thriller movie at best. But I did think it was interesting, and I was not as confused by the monkey as everyone else was. Rough Rider. Can we get the cyborg from Doom Patrol on Titans already? Aren't the Doom Patrol supposed to die anyway?
I feel like we heard this last week as well.
Yeah, I think that someone else brought up Doom Patrol. I think, but it was in like normal chat. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing the cyborg from Doom Patrol on Titans, but at the same time, I don't know if they're supposed to die exactly. I mean, yeah, they do flirt with death a lot, and there has been stuff like that in the comics, but I mean, yeah, they're comic book characters. They always come back. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I can't help you with that one. But if anything, I do definitely agree that, yeah, I would like to see that version of Cyborg on Titans. I would most wholeheartedly agree. Let's go ahead and move on to questions from the chat. Let's see. We got one from Bill. Says, will there be an X-Men movie that isn't named X-Men? The Mutants is a working title, and it could pivot away from having a team name that doesn't connect to Charles Xavier. I mean,
Remember this?
Yeah, no, I remember this shit. I remember this dumbass shit. Here's the thing. If they did that, I honestly think it would be kind of stupid. But, I mean, they do say the word mutant a lot in the MCU as of late. But...
The niggas.
Yeah, that too. But, well, I guess technically, if you want to even be more current, it would be the queers. But that said, any or rather, fill in the blank, any marginalized group. So that said, will there be an X-Men movie that isn't named X-Men? Probably. I mean, they might have something like that's X-Men adjacent, as X-Men comics are wont to have various spinoffs. They will probably fall into that same pitfall with the MCU, most likely. But that said, I don't know. I wouldn't care for that. Just calling it the Mutants. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think that one's too much. Let's see here. What else we got? Keith Petty says, do you think Marvel will trust any other director than Ryan Coogler to handle the Black Panther franchise, or possibly is Coogler tired of being associated with it? I haven't heard anything to that effect. I mean, I think...
I was going to say, there was that thing that was going around that said he didn't even want to do the film anymore after Chadwick Boseman passed. So,
well, I mean, I think that was, and rightfully so. I mean, it was literally they had become like very good friends. So yeah. As far as like him doing future ones, I mean, if he doesn't, I mean, I think that another director could pull it off if they get the right one, but I mean, until he actually comes out and says, "Yeah, I'm done with this shit," I mean, I wouldn't put smoke where there isn't any fire.
Yeah.
Unless you just like watching shit burn. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Is Black Label on DC Infinite? I think so.
Question.
I think it is. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Because I think it's all their comics. If I had to hazard a guess. Let's see here.
Yes, it is.
It is? Okay, there you go.
Yep.
Confirmed. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. I'm not even gonna address that because that's just a dumb thing. And I'll let that person figure it out for themselves. So, nope. I just see a bunch of statements and questions from the same people. So, let's see here. Here it is. Jerome says, Ernie Carter, does it annoy you that people put their superheroes on pedestals and get offended if their superheroes kill? I'm assuming kill or are killed. I mean, either way, I think putting anything on a pedestal is too much. Because, once again, as I've always said, there's no such thing as perfect. There's no such thing as perfect people. And if you put something on a pedestal, you are setting it up for to be knocked down. So, and I think this is why a lot of people, while I don't like deconstructionist stories for my own reasons, at least I won't say I don't like deconstructionist stories. I don't like when writers use deconstruction stories as a crutch to carry a story. Like, you can tell a deconstruction story while telling a full story and not making the deconstruction the whole meat of it, like the only substance to the story. There's a difference. But, like, I know a lot of people don't like it because they hate seeing their superheroes being shown as imperfect. I'm okay with that because I don't think they're perfect anyway. That's kind of why they're superheroes. They're not perfect people. Because if they were perfect people, they wouldn't break the law. So there you go. Vigilantism is illegal. So there you have it. It's why I like Daredevil so much. Because he is blatantly not perfect. Let's see here. Jiggernaut says, Keanu said he wanted to do a sequel to Constantine. What do you guys think about that? Well, we've actually talked about this before because that sequel is actually happening.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was confirmed.
Yeah, that was confirmed. Matter of fact, it said that this shit's been in talks for a long time, so we talked about this like 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks ago. But yeah, that is what it is. Let's see. Ooh, man, I'm a fucker be last name, so I'm just gonna say George. Spoilers. Says, what do you think of the name the kid what do you think of the name the kid T'Challa? Why not keep the Haitian name Tassan? I mean, here's the thing. I actually think it would have been better, but I kind of think Marvel did that just to shut up the recast T'Challa people. That's honestly why I think they did it. I don't think there was any deeper narrative in it. I think they just literally did it to be like, here, now shut the fuck up. Here. There you go. Take that shit. Go on somewhere. You bother me. That's kind of how I took it. That's how I took it. Frantic World says, who do you guys think will be the next villain in the next Black Panther movie? Well, I know Ryan Coogler wanted to do Kraven the Hunter in the original movie. That said, I think Kraven would be a downgrade from Namor, but yeah, I think he'd be a downgrade for Namor. And honestly, if that is the case, I still think you could do it and make it compelling. You just have to be very careful how you do it because we do kind of have it now where the world thinks Wakanda is vulnerable. Mm-hmm. They think that they have no protectors. They think that, oh no, we can pull up on these motherfuckers. And even with that shit that happened at the beginning of the movie with the United Nations and Ramonda parading the French mercenaries in, to the point that the motherfuckers was trained because they were speaking Wakandan and the motherfuckers was acting on command. So you could tell they done been in a Wakandan gulag, getting they asses beat by some bald-headed demons in the gulag. So that said, I feel like you could do a story where someone, kind of like what they just did recently with Kraven in X-Force, where he was like, oh, y'all doing something over here in this little island? Huh. All right.
What is this?
Let me see what you're doing.
What is this buff he has gotten? He going after the mutants. He went after Valkyrie and them. He's like, what going on with Kraven the Hunter right now? Are they doing this for the Sony movie? Like, why is he getting big up right now?
Well, I mean, that's what they do. Because the Marvels is coming out, and and Monica Rambeau's gonna be in that motherfucker, and she getting a whole series. So yeah.
I thought y'all were for the say Craven for to pop up on the Marvel. I said, bro.
No. I'm talking about while Marvel doesn't necessarily do direct one-to-one adaptations of things that happen in the movies, they do tend to put characters in the forefront who either are about to be in something or have recently been in something. Hence why we saw the return of Eros in all the Eternal stuff recently, because he literally just went to the MCU in Eternals in the movie. Same thing goes for Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch has kind of gotten a big up in the MCU recently, hence seeing her more in the Marvel Comics stuff now. This shit happens all the time. But yeah, who knows? Who knows? Oh, let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Here, Bill says, is Legion of X number 7 touching on Hickman's Technarch story, especially with the Dominion stuff going on? Yes, that is definitely what is happening. Cy Spurrier is paying off that plot thread, which has kind of been a long time coming, and I'm surprised it took this long for them to actually address that shit. Melman says, is Sony still doing the Craven movie? Yes, they still are. Let's see here. Let's see. Looking. Sure. Why not? Let's do this. Let's see here. Let's see. Seattle Chaos says, I wonder if they could just use Shang-Chi's sister as the classic Mandarin wearing the rings on her fingers. I don't know if they're going to go that route. I think that is... Okay, here's the thing. I don't think you really do classic Mandarin in this day and age. Because the Mandarin was... I mean, you could do the more modernized version of the Mandarin, which technically they did with Wen Wu in Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings. But part of me wonders if... I think she's just going to be a different type of ruler. I don't think she's going to be anything close to... I mean, she'll probably be referred to as the Mandarin, but I don't think she's going to act like the original Mandarin in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Much less even have 10 rings. 10 actual... she might wear 10 rings, but I don't think any of them are going to be, super powered or anything like that. Because technically Shang-Chi has them hoes right now, so yeah, that's a whole other story. Let's see here. What else we got? Bill says, which Marvel comics this week have the best interesting deep cuts? I have no idea. Because here's the thing about deep cuts. I sometimes don't catch them.
Yeah.
I don't even really look for them a lot of the times. I just sometimes happen upon them when I do see them. I'll just say that I enjoyed a lot of comics this week. And while some did have some references, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right this second. Let's see. Mailman says, I don't know if you ever addressed this, or I don't remember. What are the implications of the end of She-Hulk for Hulk and his boy? What were they setting up there? We actually did talk about this. And I'll just kind of rehash it real quick. But the whole thing is, and She-Hulk kind of said it in the finale, that when talking about the payoff for Hulk and why he went to Sakaar, she said, save it for the movie. Implying that we will very likely get a Hulk movie because the rights, I think, have actually reverted back to Marvel by this point. So that's what that was about. But beyond that, who knows? Because this version of Scar is a very different looking version of Scar. Apparently, Carter, did you ever see the concept art they had for the She-Hulk show? Did you see that?
I did not.
So the visual effects artist, for for that. They actually did have a different design for Scar. The person who worked on it actually shared it. Here, this is it right there. I'm gonna zoom it out a little bit so you can actually see the whole thing.
Okay.
But as you see here, he actually would have just he would have looked just
Comic
almost
accurate.
Yeah, he would look not just comic accurate, he would look just pretty much damn near like Bruce Hulk but with long hair. So I think they just decided not to go that route for whatever reason, probably for the reasons I just gave. But yeah, it just that was what they originally were plotting to go with, and for whatever reason just chose not to. Let's see here. Do I think it'd be a good idea to introduce Blue Marvel in the next the Marvels movie? I mean, you could, but I don't know if they're going to. I mean, I'm pretty sure there'll probably be a reference to him, but it would be one way to do it. Let's see. What black superheroes from both DC and Marvel would you guys like to see on the big screen? Well, one of them that I usually use as an answer is coming to the big screen. That's Jaime Reyes for DC. So there's that. Marvel-wise, well, I mean, Blue Marvel's an obvious one. Yep. I would love to see Misty Knight back in the in that arena, considering what we know about the Marvel Netflix stuff.
She's somebody else who's gotten a big up in the comics recently.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Misty Knight's been kind of all over the place lately.
So is Cloak and Dagger as well, if you've noticed.
Yeah, Cloak and Dagger's made a return because they kind of disappeared for a little bit. And like I said, sometimes you have to sunset those characters and then bring them back. You have to sunset them, bring them back. Yeah, people, they gotta go away so you can miss them. It's one of the reasons why nobody ever misses Batman, and why sometimes people get sick of him because he doesn't go anywhere. Like, dude is dead right now in the comics. Dude is still got books going. That dude Batman is still in like 8, 9, 10 different books every week. He's supposed to be dead. Let's see here. Have you guys been watching Andor? And if so, do you think that Star Wars universe needs more stories like it? I haven't finished it, but I do like what I've seen thus far. Let's see here. Keith Bay says, so Marvel now officially has complete ownership for the characters for movie adaptations except for Spider-Man, which is still owned by Sony. Correct. And anything under the Spider-Man umbrella. So that includes Black Cat, El Muerto, Venom, so on and so forth. And like, Miles Morales, Spider-Verse, all that shit. So there's that. And I don't want to be the one to put a damper on it, but don't forget, we talked about something, this has been some months ago, but a lot of the rights to a lot of Marvel characters expires in the next year or two, and could potentially revert back to the estates of the people who created them who are no longer with us. So Marvel might not even have the rights to some of those characters anymore. That's going to be real interesting here. No one's really talked about it since it came out, so I'm wondering if Marvel went ahead and stepped in and said, let me break y'all off a little something, so y'all shut the fuck up, and we keep the party going. Because I know a lot of people were laughing about how, I think a lot of DC stans were laughing about how Marvel could lose all their characters or whatever, which, would be what it is. But yeah, let's see here. Actually, that's a good question, because I actually have not been keeping up. I've been so caught up in everything that I have yet to actually see or actually check for. Let's see here.
It has not come out yet.
No, it's not come out yet. It'll be actually... Well, no, actually. Hold on. I see it. Okay, so, all right, here's the deal.
Uh-oh.
It supposedly came out on the 8th, and I just didn't see it. So, yeah, I have to go thumb back through Comixology, see if I can pick it up.
Yeah, I might have to do that myself.
Matter of fact, here, let me just, for my own edification. Bloop. Let's see what happens here. Yep, it's on Comixology right now. Yep. For whatever reason, I didn't see it. So there you go. I'll have to read it after the cave is over and go back.
Yep.
Let's see here. Yandel says, why do you think the MCU is setting all these kids up when the X-Men, Fantastic Four, and Cosmic Beings are coming? Because they can walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. I'm being facetious when I say that. The reason why is because, and I don't know why no one's realizes, there's a thing called the Young Avengers. There's also a thing called the Champions. And we will probably see some mixture of the two very soon. So that is why. If you've never heard of the Young Avengers, I don't know what to tell you. And I guess, I think we're going to call it there because we're at 2 hours and 36 minutes. And I know if I answer any more questions, we will just keep going over and beyond. So we're just going to cut the head off the snake right there and get the fuck out. Because we actually managed to make this a 2.5 hour show. Thank God. Anyway, I'm going back just to make sure I didn't miss any. Okay, yeah, we're good. Anyway, Carter, do you have anything you want to bring up? Anything you want to announce before we head out of here?
I got the PS5.
Oh, there, yeah.
The PS5 is here. I'm currently playing God of War. Thank you for everyone who has asked. Jonathan Mota, you can now rest easy. It's here. Thank you for your help as well. Fuck FedEx.
Yeah. No, you didn't even tell them. They tried to throw your shit.
We ain't gonna get into that one because 2.5. We did 2.5.
There you go. That is fair. That is fair. Anyway, I don't have anything to announce. I'm getting the fuck off here because I'm gonna go spend some time with my kid. Spend some time with the baby. That's what I am going to do. But anyways, thank you everyone for watching. If you were the people who lurked, the people who chatted, people who super chatted, people who liked the video, liked the stream, people who shared it. I hope you did share it. And yeah, all the patrons, all the Blerd Club members, everything. Thank you all so much for your support of this channel, and we will be back next week, as far as I'm aware. I think I have Extra Life stuff happening next, or actually, let me double check that. I can't remember if it's this week or next. I think it's next week. But I'll still be doing the Blerd Cave as per usual, so that's not really a question. But anyway, for Earth's Mightiest subscribers, for Earth's Mightiest patrons, for Blerd Koa, for the Blerd Club, and God damn it. I can actually answer this real quick, and you know what? I appreciate the super chat, but this is one of those where I can answer this real quick. So before you go, one question: you see the Venom and Goblin Queen team up in the new book? I'm late, I know. LOL. Didn't see it, but thank you for the super chat. For Carter Presents, I'm the Blerd Without Fear, and Ezra Miller. You can go to hell.